elimination to Inferno. I mean, it's FaZe's pick. How do we feel about this one?
I mean, I don't feel good at all about it. And as Yanko said, like, if the individuals really don't show. Brokey, who's like 10 years younger than Fallen, he's the lowest rated player by far. You can't have that happen. Rob's need to wake up. I don't know, man.
All right, well, we're about to find out. We're going to get straight into the action on this one.
FaZe and FURIA, two of the greatest in-game leaders that we have ever had in Counter-Strike, going up against each other today. And although their legacies are already cemented, today acts as a chance for FURIA and the leader Fallen to try and extend that legacy and leave behind more brilliant work. And for FaZe, Carrigan has been one of the most incredible in-game leaders we have had for modern Counter-Strike, Jason, and this is a game that could break their entire squad.
Oh, I mean, this has huge implications for what comes next. And I mean, FaZe, for having been this flat so far in the major, to imagine their ability to just turn it around right here, right now to qualify, that's a quality of old FaZe. That's a quality of the FaZe we've known over the past 3 years, but not recently, and they need to find that form again. Flash setup outside of Banana.
And Brokey waits in behind the sandbags. Great utility damage done onto the pack of players moving forward, and a little bit of a fumble, but Brokey's able to get back and play alongside Frozen. But it is FURIA staying fixated upon this bomb site.
Oh, they're coming right in. 3 defenders here as well. Brokey sees the utility. Rain gonna take a quick peek, wants to take a shot. They haven't turned the corner. Beautiful. Rain shuts down Cello, and FURIA must walk in now at a disadvantage.
Brokey sitting at the back. There's 2 players in dark, and that might work out perfectly for FaZe. They might not anticipate how many numbers are there, but they move in, and FURIA take both players out at the back of the bomb site. Now Rain moving forward, unable to stop this from going down, and so FURIA will be in the post plant. A 3v3, and Carrigan coming around the back. Skull's just waiting at the sandbags. Carrigan to get ever closer with the dual Berettas, letting Rops and Rain make their move forward into the site. Time will start to tick. No kits on their backs. They move in, but Skulls wins the fight in Banana. It now comes down to Rain and Rops, and it is not going to go their way. This will be a pistol round for FURIA as they barrage the B bomb site, leaving Rops alone in a clutch that is impossible to pick up. It is K-Serrato to close the first round.
Man, FURIA had to do that the hard way as well. What a round for K-Serrato. That's a guy that FURIA's going to want to have showing up today in this series. 3 defenders here, even the first kill going towards FaZe. I think this had to have been miscommunication, maybe a misrotation. Frozen and Brokey both going back to dark, and not even a bait setup at all. I don't think they intended for that to happen, just the way the chaos panned out. And FURIA is able to take complete advantage. One to nothing for FURIA here on Inferno, their T side. And a second round buy and investment from FaZe. 5 7s and a Deagle picked up. This major has been FaZe desperately trying to build into a form. They've talked so much about the progress they've made in practice, the environment within the team, how much better they're feeling. It just has not been reflected in results. But this is the last chance they have to show that progress, to show the quality of it, of the boot camp back in Europe before this elimination stage began.
Carrigan waiting silently at CT spawn. Here comes the util for FURIA into the B bomb side again. Carrigan will deploy the smoke, but it is not going to dissuade FURIA from staying committed as they go for a fight down in towards CT. Carrigan gone, but a shot from Frozen lands to the chest of Yuri. He stays behind the smoke, buying time, keeping his life, and Frozen freezes out another with his Deagle. 40 seconds left in this round, and FURIA make their way into the bomb site. K-Serrato has still not found Frozen. He goes again, and Frozen finds a follow-up. It's K-Serrato and Skulls left in a 2v3, and Frozen is giving FaZe every chance possible. Skulls the last remaining player, and Frozen has removed everyone from the FURIA squad so far. And Skulls coming up through Banana has 20 seconds to undo the hard work of Frozen. The bomb waits inside of the pool. And Skulls does not see anybody from FaZe as they stay disciplined. The time will evade them, and Frozen will kick this match off with all 5 kills. An incredible play inside of the B bomb site.
Yeah, brilliant stuff from Frozen. You gotta love that. One of the 2 players that have really stayed and showed up for FaZe in this run. But this is God tier. FURIA could never find him. Beautiful shots with the Deagle, working himself out of a tough situation. And Frozen gets FaZe on the board in round 2. That's That's what you need if you're FaZe. An individual heroic moment to fire up the squad for the rest of this. No slow starts today for FaZe.
And it comes from their latest edition. This is a team that has provided so much entertainment over the years in Counter-Strike.
And a player that Kerrigan essentially wanted to bring over from his time earlier playing with him in Mouse, saying, I've already had experience with this guy. I know the qualities that he brings. Back in 2019, they went on a string of championships back then to close out the year. And when they lost Twist, Kerrigan knew exactly who he wanted to turn to.
Drops to go down on default. Cello to commit forward here for FURIA. They move into the sights. A couple of kills back here for FURIA. And although the hard work from Frozen was impactful in the previous round, FaZe can't turn it into consistent success. FURIA get into the site, and it's the death song played by the Cello that gets them through.
Oh, we're getting scrappy already. We're getting scrappy real early in this match. A rebuttal from FURIA to take round 3. Back and forth we go. Saved AK-47 on Frozen. MAC-10 on Kerrigan. Brokey will be able to buy a rifle in the next round. You imagine FaZe is buying right back up into this. A simple up-the-middle trade game from FURIA. And a passive setup from FaZe gave them room to work with to be unharassed on their march into the bomb site. It's 2-1.
FURIA are marching towards CT spawn, closer and closer to where they're saving their weapons. Kerrigan only has a MAC-10 inside of the ruins. And the push will stop at the doorway. FURIA do not apply the pressure, not wanting to lose anything they currently possess. And so they weather the storm of Frozen's impact. FURIA bounce back into the lead. Tough scenario now for FaZe to consider economically, because you can fall into this trap. You have to buy here, so they decide that. But if they lose this, money's going to be rough for the next 2 rounds, and FURIA can start to pull away on this T side.
Inferno FaZe's map pick. FURIA elected to start on the T side. Want to be able to dictate the action in this first half and warm up into the series. Deagle shot down mid from Rain doesn't land. Banana control is going to be fought for, and Kerrigan has to smoke off the Molotov, but he's got tons of utility coming his way. Tons of FURIA players attacking up into this, and around the smoke, Kerrigan gets picked out of the sky. Ill-advised jump.
FURIA's going to make the most of it.
And now what do you do with this banana control so early for FURIA? Just not the resources to fight for him or to hold him at bay. Frozen, oh, somehow still alive.
3 HP, but it's Brokey now who has to step up. With his teammate low in behind the coffins, Brokey, with a slightly advanced angle out of second oranges, gets a kill back here for FaZe. A minute left on the clock, and the rotation coming over.
This flashbang on Rain is everything.
When does he decide to throw it? Now. He sends it in, and so Brokey waits for it, swings out from the new box, but it has knocked on his way, and falling with a double kill puts FURIA into a comfortable close.
Rain throws that flashbang not for the player inside the site. He throws it for Frozen to come through, not for Brokey to peek. It was not deep enough to blind the player staring into the bomb site whatsoever. It's thrown to blind any player still in the choke point that are kind of looking to move in, looking towards coffins, looking toward the CT choke. I think Brokey thought that was going to be a different one, and he kind of gets sold down the river unintentionally. That's a 3-1 lead, and FURIA have grabbed control of the economy and the momentum moving forward. It'll be FaZe back to pistols. These two did recently play each other at IEM Rio. It was a best-of-1 victory for FURIA over on Dust2, which is FURIA's pick in the series. 13-7, the best event FURIA has had all year, making the semifinals at that event. Other than that, it has been an atrocious year for FURIA. Starting off with a string of last places, early eliminations, group stage exits before they made the switch away from Art, solidifying Fallen as the in-game leader of the FURIA team. And only recently, only at that IEM event back in October, have it started to look like the results are going to match up with the eye test of improvements in terms of how they play the game.
And when FURIA have all of their individuals showing up, when they have Serato getting close to the potential that he has, this team becomes so deadly, and you never have to want to play them in a deciding game to move out of the elimination stage into the playoffs. This is a team that can hit a ceiling very quickly.
They're a weird team to kind of have to go up against, because they have some high peaks and they have some really low lows as well. And the inconsistency has been the biggest problem. But yeah, dangerous across all 5 players. Serato and Yuri, that pairing. Fallen's off has been impactful during moments and maps of this tournament. You add in, you know, Cello kind of doing his job, the blue-collar player for FURIA. Skulls, all the potential we've seen on him in various lineups over the years. Yeah, you go deep down this roster and there's a lot of talent on it. And FURIA trying to make sure we all realize it here at the end of the year at the Shanghai Major. Fallen has specifically said, like, once he took over the in-game leader and he felt like he had that responsibility placed squarely on his shoulders, his entire goal this year was to leave his mark within this team in a really good way. And knocking FaZe out of the major, qualifying for the playoffs in their stead would be exactly what he's looking for.
And the great thing about the two leaders today is we don't really know how many majors does Fallen have left. How many majors does Karrigan have left? And so we have to enjoy this moment. And FURIA charging out towards top middle. Cello flashed off, and he's having a great game so far. You can tell he's just honed in on his skill set as moving forward as that front man. And the smokes go down to Archway and Library, and FURIA starts to wrap around, which leaves Rops in the pit to do most of the heavy lifting. And Brokey waits inside of the bomb site to try and assist him. But Cello is getting closer, and that smoke allows him to sever off the player in the bomb site and turn it into a 1v1 fight. But Brokey wants to fight. He wants to get involved in these duels, but he runs out of bullets, and Yuri will topple him, leaving Rops as the lone defender inside of the pit. And it is a pit of despair as he is cast aside by Skulls, leaving two FaZe players nowhere near the action.
That's a beautiful round from FURIA. They get mid control and wrap side control so quickly, 1 minute and 20 seconds. It's a triple B start for FaZe. It's exploited. But once they get these advanced positions, they're so patient with utility up in Library, utility up in Arches. They get into these spots and they just wait. They don't actually pull the trigger on attacking into the bomb site, because as the split is crunching on the A site, you can see how uncomfortable Brokey feels. That's why he wants to aggressively take the fight. He knows two players are coming up lane. He's got no support from CT side rotations. His teammate in pit is isolated and cut off. FURIA just making a really slow, high-pressure hit onto this bomb site. And exploiting the fact that FaZe don't have utility to respond or slow it down.
And it's not like that utility comes anytime soon. This is what we're talking about with how scrappy the start of the game was. FaZe are in a position where the money on the CT side is not good enough to get a good buy here.
I think timeout is a really good call right here for Neo to get involved in the conversation. I think this has to be, around these two saved weapons, a half buy. Don't go for like the full MP9s in utility. Go for your 5.7s and Deagles. The next gun round has to be powerful, and you need the Molotovs, you need the smokes. With this fast pace that FURIA is engaging in for the first 6-7 rounds of this game, you really need that utility to be able to block them off for like 20-30 seconds so you can actually maintain some map control. Because they're bullying you everywhere they go.
You draw the comparison between the coaches and their experience of the two squads, and it's night and day. You've got Siddup taking his first coaching role at this level this year. Neo, not necessarily years of experience as the coach, but just as a player, one of the most experienced and veterans that we've got.
Yeah, I mean, all the way back to 1.6, all the way back to the early days, some considered the greatest 1.6 player of all time. Forrest in that conversation as well, but yeah, I think also you consider some of the Polish teams that Neo's been in. He's had plenty of experience of juggling the emotional states of his teammates and his players.
It's been no secret that we've seen a downturn in Rops' individual performance. Around a year ago when CS2 was just started taking to the circuit, Rops was considered one of the best, if not the best,
in the early days
of the game.
Yep.
But we have seen as this year has gone on that Rops' individual performances have certainly dropped off, and he's had a slow start here against FURIA today, 0-5. And we know how much of a star Rops can be. Throughout the past with FaZe's championships, with their titles, Rops has been an integral part. And they're going to need him today if they want to get through to the playoffs.
Well, they need a couple things. Rops obviously a big talking point, and for all the reasons you just mentioned. Brokey as well, at least in this tournament, a little bit of a slump in this elimination stage, has been very quiet for FaZe. Statistically, pretty close, but just above Karrigan, which is not what you want to see out of your AWPer and someone as dynamic and impactful as Brokey. Rops goes down with his push through the smoke. Brokey gonna get away somehow. This has been the worst year for FaZe since Rop joined at the start of 2022. They've only won a single trophy across 2024. That was at IEM Chengdu. Most of this year has been a struggle, a labored year for FaZe as they try and find the form that made them so exciting and so dominant and so dangerous. the ability to stay in games, the ability to win clutch, tense, close situations. All of it seems to have betrayed them in 2024.
And one of the conversation points around FaZe has always been their ability to come back from when they're behind. We've seen that earlier in Cologne in the year against Team Liquid, but we've had better examples as the years have gone on. We've seen FaZe come back into games that you think look impossible, but they haven't necessarily had that same attitude or ability about the squad. And to go down so early here to FURIA is going to be a real test for FaZe on their map pick, because now it's 6-1, and we're really only getting into what feels like the first proper gun round where FaZe will have everything they require.
And I think that's really the talking point so far of this game, is because of that early back and forth of winning the second round, losing the third round. This is the dream start for FURIA, not just in terms of the scoreboard, but you were now going into round 8, and this is the best buy that FaZe have had. They've gone through most of this half without enough resources to battle the way they would like, without able to slow things down the way they would like to get comfortable into the late round, and FURIA has taken complete advantage of that. Credit to Fallen and his calling for keeping the high pressure, faster paced tactics, just continuing to lay them on FaZe. But now you have the op on Brokey, now you've got Molotovs and smokes to block off choke points, and it needs to all have an impact right now. Triple B start, but just to drop a little bit of utility, I think Reign's already hustled back because they've been abused a couple of times.
Oh, that is a rough grenade to go through the bedroom and to the feet of Rops, who loses over half of his health without even seeing his first opponent. But FaZe look to occupy the apartments, maintaining this position with the rifle and the AWP. The aggressive stance as Brokey peers down the stairs. Rops covers off the bedroom. No one from FURIA has occupied Banana.
I think Fallen's going to want to eventually maybe come back and at least force back Frozen, force the second player to shift over. Frozen's got Molly and Smoke for defensive utility to delay, but they need to get him off car so that the defense can be kept honest. Otherwise, they're walking right into a stack.
Rotation of Carrigan coming back towards B, at least it was, but then with the archway smoke going down, he stayed focused. And this does leave Frozen in a position where he's alone. And the only round the FaZe have won so far is off the back of an ace from Frozen. But now he's got Carrigan swinging through that CT smoke, but it has to be Frozen again. And only a single kill is not going to be enough to hold on to this bomb site for FaZe. This is a terrible start from FaZe Clan, and they are not in this game yet. Reign is left alone in a situation where there's two players still in the bomb site, and he knows one was just detected over towards A. But at a certain point, you've got to start winning rounds, and this one doesn't look possible. Reign's going to fall away. Skull's already on the hunt. And for FURIA, it is a perfect start. 7-1. They have kept FaZe trapped.
I think FaZe is getting so caught off guard by how fearless FURIA is playing. You have to admire that coming right through the smoke. Cello just realizing, I'm here for one kill. I'm here for the first kill. Coming through smoke, coming through fire, finding that first frag before being traded off, but it opens the floodgates. And everyone from FaZe getting overwhelmed at the point of attack. This isn't a cerebral chess match at the moment. This is a brawl. And FURIA is on top every single punch.
We said at the last round, though, that it needs to start happening for FaZe. They need to start winning rounds. They just got the AWP out. They got all the utility. They were never really even in that round. And once again, they're thrust back to a pretty low buy. You've got Brokey having to go to an XM instead of a AWP. You've got an MP9 out here for Carrigan. This is not a pretty start for FaZe.
And this is the real danger. Is in the past, we would say, okay, at some point, FaZe is going to click on. FaZe is going to grab around and grab some momentum, and they're going to come back, and they're going to eke out enough in this first half to make the second half possible. But no one has that faith in FaZe any longer. Not the FaZe we've seen so far in Shanghai.
And that no one includes FaZe Clan themselves. Frozen, Rob's rather at least getting his first kill. The grenade towards Skulls. Trades out to the 4v4. Plenty of time here for FURIA to settle back into the round. Frozen is the solo B player. He has currently got no utility unless nades are dropped 4, in which he'll go back and get. He's got Smoke and Incendiary now, so he can use those a little bit later into the round.
Yeah, it didn't help him a whole lot in the previous round.
No, it did not.
But this is at least even in a 4-on-4, at least you've slowed down FURIA. Working across the map, very quietly clearing halls. Reign off angle. Rops has low HP, gonna smoke off Halls at the timing.
Fallen and Yuri went inside the boiler, falling with a peek out. Rain under pressure, dropping back further. Short needs to step up here for FaZe. He's got that first kill locked in, takes a dink, and Rops alongside him. Able to stop this attack from FURIA for the time being, but it's only slowed. It's not stalled out completely. And Carrigan moves forward, but Serrano rips his head off. Cello on the follow-up. And with FaZe, even when they look like they've got into a round, FURIA find a way. And once again, it is Frozen that is asked to win a round here for FaZe. And they have to have him go for this. He has to attempt to win it. And Cello down inside of the site. It's the elusive shadow of Serrano left. But he's forced into the open by the fire. And Frozen moves forward yet again. A tense duel inside of the site. Serrano's head just ducks beneath the boxes. And Frozen moves close with limited bullets left. Needs to be perfect, needs to be precise. And Serrano just plays with his prey.
FaZe can't do anything to match this. Big round from Serrano, the kill on Carrigan, and the one-on-one extended clutch. And this time they did have things to play with, and it all goes south. FURIA winning fast, winning slow, winning in the mid-round, and now winning in the post-plants. A valiant effort from Frozen, but could never land the shots. And Serrano so calm and composed. The confidence and comfort in FURIA right now is palpable. You can feel it inside the server. They never once have felt disorganized. They never once have felt like they've gotten away from themselves on this T side. And look at the money. They have no economic issues. Every single round FaZe goes up against is a full buy. You've had one round with the AWP, and now you don't have the luxury of saving to get it out again.
Disaster at the moment for FaZe, and a quick play for FURIA. They sense weakness, and they charge towards Frozen. The one A1S over here on the B-bomb site. He's managed to peel away with at least a kill. And now they send the pistols in instead, so Carrigan swings into the open. Marches forward. Frozen's got another kill. This M4 is doing everything possible for FaZe. Frozen is doing everything he can to keep his team in the early goings of this fight, but he can't do everything. And so he has to rely on the closure from his three teammates. 2v3 for FURIA to recover, and they've got time. So they take a breather, they take a pause, and they'll place those Molotovs towards the back of the site. That M4 once again recovered, this time by Rain, who fights against Yuri. And with Skulls gone, Brokey comes in to close with the 5-7. And it is once again Frozen who does the heavy lifting for FaZe and sent home by Brokey.
He's given you 2 rounds, and off the back of this second one, you have to build on it. You have to get these last 2. You need 4 going into the second half. And if you can't convert, if again it's just a wipeout for FURIA, I think Frozen looks down the line and is like, come on, let's go. Someone else help me out a little bit. I need something. And this is the last chance for FURIA to stay in this opening map. If they're to lose this, I mean, they have money in the bank, but still.
Fallen with a charge up with the AWP, the confidence. As Fallen goes to the front. Looks to peel away with Frozen, and the flash will connect, but Fallen still hits the shot. Great opener here for FURIA.
I hadn't seen that op yet on the T side. Fallen never felt the need to bring it out, but a little bit of trickery, changing the style of attack. Risking everything inside the flames. Unafraid of the damage from those CT Molotovs. And FURIA get to settle down and have control of the map. 1 minute left on the clock and just now going to start probing up middle. Molotov out to the position of Rain and Brokey. They'll have to back away as they just slide into position.
Rain grenade is a little too late, and so Cello's already moved forward. He's going to go through the smoke. Cello, a wild maneuver that Rain is ready for. But Yuri's up next, and will Brokey anticipate this possibility going through the smoke? Head spotted, Yuri down. 2 members of FURIA go down through the smokes. 30 seconds left, and the final finish for FURIA will be towards this B-bomb site. Carrigan calling for his teammates to rotate over and help him. And Carrigan gets one before being ripped apart by Fallen and Skulls. Once again, an even number situation, and they're coming through the smoke. Fallen hits one, Skulls has got the other. And for FaZe, it is collapse again. Despite being in a strong position, it is FURIA that constantly find the way.
They even give you 2 kills walking through smokes on the Rap side. What's Fallen's second kill on Rops? That's the painful one. Rops trying to come in, perhaps to help Carrigan over at the B bomb site, maybe on an early flank down mid. But Fallen's op is a deciding, dictating factor in this round all the way through. 9-2, you got money for FaZe, but you have nothing to lean on. Everything has been individual heroics. From a team perspective, you are not matching what FURIA is bringing to the table.
Once again, an aggressive stance in the apartments. Rops has tried this a few times. And once again, forced away by utility. Rops has never been allowed to be comfortable in the apartments. FURIA are ruling the map. It goes quiet for a moment, but 1 minute left on this clock. And FURIA look to ferociously finish this first half. Fallen looks out to long side.
Broky's op is over towards the B bomb site, but not pushed out to Car.
You need Rain, the rock of FaZe Clan, to step up here as they come around long. Close quarter spotted by Cello. Rain will still win the fight. Broky's got a pick on Caserado, trying to lurk towards that B bomb site. Here comes Carrigan on the swing. Rain's gone, but Carrigan able to find that follow-up kill, and Robs it dropped back into the pit. So at least another round closing out this first half for FaZe Clan. Yuri will give it his best go to win the 1v4, but it's not going to happen. At the hand of Carrigan, the half will close, but FURIA with an unbelievably strong first half. 9-3 out of the T side.
Yeah, one of the rare moments they slow it down and try and do a little bit more tactical probing across the map. And I mean, FaZe is more than happy after the half of getting blitzed every single round to just settle it down and be slow and handle those attacks. But there's not a whole lot of positives to take away if you're FaZe. And now we get to see their quality in the second half to start mounting a comeback. A T side for themselves. They get to dictate the action. And see if they can start bringing this back and make us believe the old FaZe has shown up in this server.
It's been a sad state of affairs watching FaZe Clan recently, and just because you know of the heights and the entertainment that they've provided us over the last few years of Counter-Strike and some of the classic matches, grand finals.
Yeah, the most dominant team of the last 3 years, and it'd be a shame. We've kind of seen this timeline kind of building up as this year's gone on, and I think everyone's kind of held their breath and given passes and waited a little bit longer. Nobody's wanted to say it, but obviously with this major, a lot on the line in terms of implications of what the FaZe Clan roster would look like moving forward if there is to be a disaster at the major, and especially if you get eliminated here without any kind of a fight. This could be the last time we see this roster constituted as it currently is.
Four defenders for FURIA at the A bomb site. Here come FaZe out of the balcony and into the pit. And Fallen once again, great headshot. Yuri from the pit, 2 headshots locked in, and they've slowed down FaZe completely. Brokey and Carrigan not really in a fight, not in a position where they can compete, so they're going to try and get away. But with 1 minute left, and everybody for FURIA is still alive, it is almost impossible to see any pathway back into this round for FaZe.
Shift into a more passive setup and a setup that allows them to help out at the B bomb site if Brokey and Carrigan work their way to the other side of the map, but Skulls already spots one Rap side, so Fallen holds off on the complete rotation. Caserado sinks back from the B bomb site. Now both players have been spotted. And with 30 seconds left, Brokey and Kerrigan aren't being given any mistakes, and now it's time to move forward. That's a nasty shot from Fallen.
That is nuts. Now Kerrigan, he'll do what he can, but round's already done. It's a 10-3 scoreline for FURIA. FaZe are floundering on their map pick. It's a lifeless squad right now. Dust2 up next. It feels like we're gonna be there pretty soon.
And that's the map FURIA beat FaZe on back at IEM Rio in their best of one. So you know FURIA is going to coming in with that knowledge, and obviously the momentum from stomping this opening map. And it's going to be much of the same. It's going to be a very confident, aggressive, no-fear FURIA.
And we know how much firepower FaZe have, but they're not hitting back. FURIA just pummeling them, and Cello, he's been so confident, so fluent throughout this entire map so far. He's already down bottom banana. FaZe with a force bite.
There's a combination of factors, I think, with FaZe. Obviously, individuals having their own slumps, especially during the elimination stage, during this major run. But just watching them, there seems to be a lack of confidence and a lack of comfort what they're all doing on the map together. Contrast the two pistol rounds. FURIA's three-man A-stack shuts down FaZe's hit with beautiful crossfires. FaZe's pistol round in the first half, 3 players at the B-bomb site, little scattered and disorganized, and not finding a way to work together and fight together at the same moment. So now they've got to come into round 2 with Tech-9s and make this work.
Cello, multiple players swinging his position, but still he'll stand. He wants to fight them, he wants to isolate him in 1v1s, but eventually too many peeks results in death, and Fallen just leaps to the archway. Keserado getting a pick elsewhere, but traded back by Rops, and a 3v3 established here for FaZe. Kerrigan deep towards CT, but Fallen comes back over and wins that leader battle. He goes again, but this time at range, Rops gets the pick, but so much damage has been done onto both remaining players of FaZe. Low HP on Rain with 4 health left, 10 on Rops. Can they muster a round? What a shot from Rops, out towards CT, a blistering headshot, leaving Skulls alone. And now the round becomes so difficult because he's got to deal with 2 players, and despite them being low, the crossfire that they maintain makes it so difficult for Skulls to even see a world in which he wins it. So he backs away, and for one thunderous shot from Rops, the force buy works out for FaZe.
Surely if Skulls knows the HP, he goes for this. He actually just swings in and goes for it, but man, he's prioritizing the M4. Rops is going to go down at the end.
No way. How was he alive? How was he on that? That is so ridiculous. The bomb blast will take him in the end, but that's a crazy outcome for Rops.
Well, both second rounds won by FaZe in this series after losing the pistols. And that's a lifeline provided by Rops with those deagle shots.
First half, it was Frozen that was able to win the force buy after losing the pistol round. Got an ace, started off with a deagle. Unfortunately for FaZe, weren't able to turn that into consecutive success, but looking at what FURIA have coming up next here, should be a great chance for FaZe to work on this.
Rops with a quad kill round to keep them alive and keep FURIA as far away as possible from just a scoreline. Oh my lord.
No. This can't happen for FaZe.
That's it, right? You can't build off that.
Fallen straight away with a pick onto Kerrigan. He has had his number throughout this map so far.
That's a disgusting shot. 13 kills on Fallen, leading the way for FURIA. 11 on Skulls and Yuri.
Leading the way on the server. Top fragger right now. Here comes Rops. His teammates are currently slinking their way up through Banana. The defenders are here for FURIA, but they're playing within the bomb site. 3
of them, and with Rops being the lurk, he's not an aggressive lurk. He's not going to go hunt down and find information at this A bomb site. He's going to try and exploit rotations. So they have no information of what they're walking into. This could be a horrific end.
For FURIA, there is no reason to break apart this triple setup within the site. A chance to devastate FaZe's chances on Inferno here and now. With 3 players waiting inside of the B bomb site, FaZe are marching towards a fight. And they still should be favored to win this fight, especially with the utility disrupting the initial setup. but FURIA will give it their best go. First and second oranges occupied and dealt with from the MAC-10. Caserado with only a USP, stopped by Brokey, and Disaster will not strike. FURIA will save a couple of options here. You've got Fallen moving towards CT with a scout, but for FaZe it goes up to 5.
Can't be upset about that one if you're FURIA. You got everything you wanted. You got the opening pick, you got them walking into your stack, and just couldn't get any of the kills. Those MAC-10s so deadly as they come up, and also money is saved for FURIA, so they didn't invest in armor as well, which was going to make that way more difficult. So 10-5. And FaZe putting some rounds on the board, but still not convincing quite yet they can bring this all the way back.
Not yet, but halfway there. In this upcoming round, maybe get a couple of upgraded pistols for FURIA, but the most likely outcome is FaZe do increase their scoreline to 6 and starting to shrink that gap. Hopefully with Rops' 4K earlier on, he's played himself back into this opening map. Really slow, frustrating start for him. FaZe are not going to rush into anything just yet. Well, I need to figure out what they're up against.
A way more chill T-side from FaZe, I think, is something to expect than what FURIA brought out to start things off in their half. Brokey spots one towards Rap side. Control of top banana. Now smoking off to take mid control and brackets. Working a good default here for FaZe. And seeing if there's any counter utility they can force out of the defenders. Now Kerrigan goes for the investigation, the hunt. Stack at the back of the bomb site is deleted. Caserado comes through for 1. And that's it. That should be the round. FaZe now, bomb going to be picked up. And then you get to pick and choose whichever bomb site you want to go to. Brokey's not going to miss the clear over in Cubby. And it's 10-6.
And Kerrigan's going to take that burst of kills. Puts him up to 6 from the 3 he was standing on with an AK-47. Saved on over as well, so not bad at all from Kerrigan. FaZe have had to play a lot of matches to get to this point as well. It has not been smooth sailing for them at any point, really. Even the RMRs were a bit touch and go at times. And in this opening game in the Major, people are wondering, you know, how's that wild card game going to go? People thought maybe an upset brewing there.
That was a sign of the issues, right? When you start working in your head that there's actually some real possibilities that got upset by wild card in the opening round. Like, you know, that's a lot of faith lost in FaZe.
Yeah, they did get the job done eventually, 13-10. They lost to Heroic, who have now qualified over the reigning Major champions.
That was a wild third map in that series. Heroic continuing to impress is very cool.
Honestly, during this stage of the Major, when I seen that Maus were playing FaZe early on in the best of 1, I was very worried about FaZe. That was a situation where I thought they were just going to lose to Maus in the kind of form that they're in, but they got the job done versus...
Again, you can almost see like any other team that you... The difference is FaZe had like an established dominance, you know, through a period of time, but like you're seeing the inconsistencies of it, like a young team trying to find itself. The inconsistencies that we see out of FURIA right now, which is the scary thing. Yeah, you go and beat Maus in a best of 1, which is great, one of the best teams in the world, but you get destroyed. Like just deleted by G2, like no fight whatsoever, and that's where you have your head scratching, and the ups and downs that FaZe have experienced have just shattered their confidence. And we've all been waiting for that moment where we see the confidence click back in, where we see the comfort in this team. And this would be a great moment to show it. Historically, so difficult to put away, always good for a comeback. You know there's going to be a run from FaZe that makes the match close. And maybe we're seeing it building up right now. Opening kill for Rops onto Skulls. That leaves Yuri all alone at the A bomb site for the moment, protected by utility. And Fallen's on his way back with his AWP, but wants to stick around the B bomb site. It's almost like they're just kind of selling this and saying, you know what, if you go A, we lose. 58 seconds left to figure it out.
Fallen in a very committed angle with his AWP, but he's got Cello beside him in behind the sandbags. And FaZe are coming to fight. Fallen peels away with Carrigan, and Fallen is not falling back. Finally forced into more passive position. Cello leaped up on top of the sandbags, and Frozen is very quick to drop him.
Yeah, but you're going to think there's an op here, and there's still a player in the back of the bomb site. K-Serrato been lurking this whole time.
K-Serrato looking to combine with Fallen as the attack from FaZe starts to move forward. K-Serrato, the shadow hides at the new box, and here he is to fight. Peeks up, Rain goes down first, and K-Serrato elusive on the second. He's not stopping. This is a cold killer at the back of the site, and finally, Rops fights on. 5 seconds though, not enough time to win this round, and K-Serrato waits in the shadows and pounces upon the FaZe clan.
That's so much confidence in your call, in your read of the situation from Fallen. You pointed this out, the Carrigan versus Fallen, great in-game leaders. Fallen's got his number right now. Never shifting away from the B bomb site. So confident that FaZe was going to come back. And just had K-Serrato lying in wait, not showing. Firing into the smoke to be a distraction. And FaZe never thought there'd be another player in the site.
Just as we were saying, maybe we were about to witness the first steps being set up here for FaZe to come back into the game. They get the opening pick, and FURIA flip it back despite being down an early player, and Fallen is starting to take over the server. The player that gave Brazil its greatest years, its era, its legacy, that found its first generation of great players in CSGO, and is now leading the squad of the next generation.
16 majors, 10 playoffs, 2 championships. And leading the charge, his op at this event has been a beautiful resurgence.
Yuri and Pitt, FaZe have no other option. They must fight into this A side, and they come through, but Skull still on the site, pinned up on top of the box. Important trade from Brokey, but they're still in the 2v4. Rops will fight on. And we know how deadly the 3 players of FaZe can be in Brokey, Rops, and Frozen, but it's all down to Brokey alone, and in the side of the site, there's no stopping K-Serrato in that rotation in. And it will be map point for FURIA.
What a good round from Yuri. Staying alive in the pit, just the 1 kill, making it awkward, peeking out to find Rops, being a nuisance, a distraction. And obviously in that position, Brokey's got nowhere to go when he gets out of the bomb plant. There's no different position he can take, and just teed up for K-Serrato. Great shot from Fallen. Skull's doing the grunt work in the bomb site, and Yuri's given time to be patient. And FURIA have 6 rounds, 6 chances to close out Inferno.
Last time out for FaZe.
FURIA has struggled all year at events. They got knocked out in the Katowice play-ins, not even to the main event. Last in the elimination stage of the Copenhagen Major. They got grouped at IEM Chengdu. Last at IEM Cologne. And right towards the end of the year, it feels like everything Fallen has been instilling in them over the past 5 months has really just clicked and come to fruition.
Even in a time shot of this event, though, we didn't know how their form was going to look, what they were capable of achieving. But they've stayed in it. They have built up better here in Shanghai. Rops and Rain looking to walk into the stack of players waiting in the corner. It's not the usual setup. You don't usually see 2 players sitting on top of one another. And so that is why you do not see the immediate swing from Rain. And now the peek from Fallen from the library. It is Carrigan to go down and FaZe to fall to just 3 players. FaZe's map pick is going to fall into the hands of FURIA. Unless the 3 remaining forces of FaZe can combine for a way back into this 3v5.
Carrigan can't get any good reads. He's pushing the envelope on Rap side because he's hoping it's going to be a triple B start, but Fallen is here again.
Here he is, once again. Fallen with a mighty performance. Big shot again. A lot of damage, and Brokey left on low HP. 1v4, a situation that Brokey will not find a way into. There is surely no way in which the remaining 40 seconds reveal a pathway for Brokey to keep FaZe going here on Inferno. It has been ferocious from FURIA on the opening map, and FaZe have no answers. If they want to stay alive and their playoffs dream to exist, they must bounce back heading into map 2.
Yes, we advise that all FaZe fans, you might want to go out, get a cup of tea, make a drink, get some fresh air, whatever.
Something's always find a way. No matter how bad they're looking coming into a tournament, no matter how shaky they are, throughout their history, we have always found a way to believe in FaZe, and they find a way to believe in themselves. You remember the moments back in the Paris qualification, Carrigan's down in the last chance qualifier and he finds a piece of confetti from a previous tournament, and he reminds the squad, this is from our last trophy, and you gets the team back into it. But for various different reasons, it doesn't feel like we're going to get that rallying cry here for FaZe today.
I think the thing missing is usually they find ways to inspire us to believe in them, to have some faith in them, and that has not happened yet here in Shanghai. That's the scary part for me, is we have not really seen glimpses of what they're possible of. Frozen's gonna block this smoke. Up catwalk, FURIA heads into a stack. 2 players to defend here, and they back away. Brokey and Rain fall back. Frozen's been gushed, and the attack is on.
Rain, a couple of steps back, blinded. His teammate Brokey, unaffected by the flash, swings out and removes Cello from short. FURIA stay focused on trying to get through, but with that smoke going down, Fallen goes and backtracks. Frozen being quiet underneath the Xbox. Fallen still checks him. Fallen has a look, and Frozen's gone out of there. Rop's now holding the mid gap. 4v4 off the back of that kill. And Utility goes over the top, but it's just terrible smoke, not going to work out at all. And so Rop's to drop Fallen. And the response is swift from FaZe. They keep it a 4v3, and for FURIA, their initial plan has fallen flat. Their plan B is no longer there, and now it's about adapting on the fly in this 3v4.
Yeah, maybe if that smoke had landed, they could have worked their way out, but that actually helps the CTs. It helps the FaZe side of things. So here we go. Back to an A execute. All they have left is to run out catwalk with a single flashbang. It won't bother Rain. Doesn't land the first shot, but now over at railing, he's got the help of Carrigan, and this is a nice pistol round from FaZe. Controlling and corralling FURIA. And a good start for FaZe, winning the pistol.
There have been moments in FaZe's history where, I was mentioning earlier, that they have been on the brink of utter collapse. It didn't even look like they were going to make the last CSGO major, if you remember. They fell down to the last chance qualifier. They had to play against Cloud9. They were able to get through, but one of the biggest talking points that was always there for FaZe was bringing the energy to every play. You know, finding... If there's a piss around victory, you get fired up off the back of that. And that's something they've always talked about in the communication of the team, how important it is to celebrate the small moments that starts to spiral and build them back into the game. And Rain with a double kill at short, certainly dealing with this Tech 9 buy from FURIA. It is melted away.
All right, here we go, FaZe. Rain gonna find his 3rd kill of the round and shut things down. Always known for performances in the major. He started this one off with a bang back in the opening stage. Or excuse me, back in the RMRs, I should say.
Yes.
They'd love a big performance out of him to carry them through. Somebody on the FaZe side of things. Frozen was there on Inferno.
18 majors played.
That's not bad, is it?
15 of them with FaZe. He's been there since FaZe Clan's entry into Counter-Strike. Fallen, peering over the top of the boxes, sees an aggressive play from FaZe. Up cat, it is not working out, it is not clean, and Glocks have erupted to a double kill opener. FaZe down to 3 players, oh my god! Glocks destroying FaZe Clan, and disaster about to strike unless Carrigan and Robs can stop this from happening, but surely there is no way the Glocks win this round. Fallen holding towards the top mid push. Rob's trying to recover this, but he's been tagged and so softened up. And Castorado drops him on the MP9. And Carrigan has to save the day with a minute left on this clock.
Oh, this falls apart. That's unreal. The mid-aggression. Carrigan gonna try and recover the situation. Needed to land that shot, thin them out early. Now they progress way too far. No. And the FAMAS ain't gonna get it done.
Oh, that is devastating for FaZe.
It's devastating, but it cannot be backbreaking. It cannot stop the progress that FaZe made in the first 2 rounds. They have to respond.
The aggressive play short. I mean, it looked like they should have cleaned up. They just weren't able to land the shots with so many targets. They were softening up multiple opponents, but enough chaos created towards top mid. for those Glocks to thrive.
And you have to get your team past it. This round is all important. You could just get buried. You lose this round and you're like, oh, I cannot believe we've stubbed our toe like this. Lost to unarmored pistol, lost to Glocks.
We've seen a few of those rounds from FURIA against Ping in the game to get here.
And they stood strong after the fact. FaZe now have to do a very similar thing.
Smoke down to the mid doors, FURIA occupy mid. A chance of all the damage done in a round victory in the previous for FURIA to eliminate the supply of cash and weapons here for FaZe. This early into the round, there's only 2 flashes and 1 HE grenade left for the defense. Rob smoked out at doors. Rain is going to use his HE grenade to disrupt that mid smoke and give temporary vision to Robs. Oh, he takes damage. He wasn't too far off connecting onto Kesarado.
Hasn't been able to land the op shots. Meanwhile, the opera of FaZe, Brokey, is on the M4. Rops is going to slide into that. Well, look, we saw that as well from the secondary opera from Nertz on Heroic the other day. That secondary opera, loving to take that angle and just dispatched by Fallen on the other side.
Here comes Carrigan, realizing the risk is needed as his teammates fall. FURIA have got through middle. 35 seconds. Frozen trying to hold on to the B bomb site. He's not alone. He's got Rain with him. And at the car, he peeks up with a quick kill and some damage sprinkled onto Fallen. But if Rain peeks up again, the AWP is ready to punish. But Rain moves out to the side and annihilates Fallen with the rifle. 19 seconds left, and good luck breaking through this B bomb site. Eventually Frozen to fall, but it's Rain, their mightiest hero, stepping up again. He's got to do everything, and that is too much to ask. His Skulls eventually comes through and stops the might of Rain.
God, Rain is just a beast at that B bomb site. He does everything he possibly can to slow it down. The drop-off catwalk, though, the swing out from Rops as well. FaZe just get picked apart. And FURIA continue marching forward, and now once again, just like Inferno early in the half, they've got control of the game. Economy is in their favor.
You said that Glock loss can't be backbreaking. Well, unfortunately for FaZe, immediately having to go down to an eco. FURIA are now given a great opportunity to head into the lead.
And we'll see what FaZe is going to be able to fight with next round. But that's what really hurt them the most on Inferno, is it took them 8 rounds to get money beneath them. FURIA was able to run out to such a strong lead so quickly. And they've primed up to do something very similar on Dust2. Long control as they march forward with 2 players in the bomb and silently crossing behind the smoke. No counter utility, no flashes yet.
No, Cello, not a great start for him. His health is gone, and can FaZe answer back with one of their own on the pistols? The pandemonium begins as Yuri tries to claw his team back into the round. He will do so with a double kill. There's still a shot at this for FaZe. Although FURIA hit the pause button, they composed themselves, and it's Yuri to make sure that a 3K comes in and he stabilizes any of the chaos that FaZe could capitalize on. It is Robs that waits down in spawn, bomb planted, and now impossible for Robs to make it happen. Yuri with a 4K that saves the chaos.
Composure's the key word there. FURIA don't ever look like they get too panicked when the initial 2 kills come out for FaZe. Realizing they still have the advantage in terms of the weaponry and just staying patient, staying at range, and knowing FaZe still have to make more moves if they want to close out the round. 3 in a row for FURIA. No AWP out for FaZe. All M4s, lack of kits for the CT side.
Smoke goes down, and Fallen unable to capitalize on any shots through the mid doors. Cello's got into the lower tunnels. FaZe with a more passive setup. We've seen a lot of early cat aggression from FaZe, but once the guns have come back out, they've settled into a more standard setup. Taking Rops as the solo B player in the site, Frozen just outside of the doors. Watching the ramp walk up, he's going to have a crossfire of Rain, who decides to play from CT, and they've got Carrigan just outside of the long doors. But is FURIA gathering at the B bomb site?
Throwing a lot of attention towards the A site, though. Just throwing the catwalk utility, the CT spawn utility. Meanwhile, the main thrust going to come towards the B bomb site. 3 players waiting behind a Molotov in upper. It's Rops on the initial defense, Frozen to help respond, but he's outside the double doors, cautious of a mid to B split.
Oh, great shot from Cello. Rob's gone. And that's one of the main defenders of the B-bomb site removed. And with that smoke going down and Rain getting caught from falling in middle, FaZe's defense once again breaks apart.
Such a well-constructed round.
He's going through the smoke. At least he gets into it. Not going to continue in his wildest dreams. Fallen not going to move forward. And so Frozen getting back towards CT. Skulls unleashed through the window. And FaZe are trapped in spawn.
Look how ruthless they're being. I don't know if Fallen realizes 2 players over to the left in CT spawn. He does now with the trajectory of that nade. But they've got 2 guys trapped and they're coming for the hunt.
If they remove everything that FaZe currently have in their hands, it gives FURIA the best possible beginning now on this T side. And so Frozen and Brokey must hold on. Here come FURIA's forces. Flash in. Brokey to turn. Can they hold on to their weapons? The answer is no. As Skull slices both open, FaZe are out of money and soon to be out of hope, as FURIA are given a similar start here on Dust2 as to the one they had on Inferno.
It's happening again, just getting buried beneath the weight. Another initial defense where it looks like Rops should have the advantage. Gets the first bullet dink, but can't land the follow-up shots on the spray. So Cello finds an opening, and Frozen misses some spam into the smoke on a low HP player. And they just get locked out of the bomb site, but so well constructed from FURIA. The utility thrown from mid to simulate a catwalk hit. The walk into the B bomb site with 3, not giving away the game. And Fallen in middle with an op to cut off rotations. It's played out perfectly. Just calm determination, except for Cello.
Cello is the energy bringer for this FURIA team, and especially when they've got momentum on their side, he can be a pivotal part of the energy brought to the squad. He had one job to do in Inferno, and he did it well. The front man, the spearhead.
Hey, FaZe just did great damage to start out this round. Good kill with the Deagle. Rops will bring that M4, probably pass it over to a teammate, although nobody's close by for the moment. But also wonderful damage onto Serrano with a double nade in towards the double doors. So FURIA on the back foot in this round, 4v5. And showing mid to B split. Rain is in the back of platform with the Deagle. Chance to be a nuisance.
Great shot. But Skulls will respond immediately, and Cello's been waiting for this moment in the round where they rotate through CT, and he just cuts them off, and he does that so effectively. 2 headshots in an instant. And Ross with 10 HP, not really in a position to thrust FaZe back into this round victory. Frozen also getting forced into the open with that utility. Serrano waiting to punish. And the bodies pile up, and so do the round victories here for FURIA.
Such a, again, composure in these situations. That's 2 low-buy rounds that FaZe has been able to make this tricky. The kill out towards long, the kill from Rain at back of platform. And FURIA just don't panic. Business as usual. It's Cello to bail them out this time. Yuri previously in that round. But Cello the deciding factor in middle, as nobody from FaZe can help out. 5-2.
We haven't seen that immediate fighting stance from FaZe Clan coming into this map. But I mean, they had a great start on the pistol, able to convert the second. They teed themselves up perfectly against the eco, but losing to the Glocks has just thrown this entire system, this entire CT side into disarray.
Yeah, the recovery from that round is so difficult. And Rops is going back to his AWP. This time it's paired up with Brokey, so a double op setup here on the CT side, Dust2. Let's see what they can deliver with it. Deep Molotov, only 1 player crosses to the B bomb site. FaZe want to control long. And FURIA's at least not going to attack it aggressively. They'll come on a timing, delayed.
FURIA charging up. And once that smoke starts to fade away, the flashes will be tossed out by Kesarado, and the forces fly forward into Frozen. Flash will blind him, but he's got Carrigan. And that AUG will mow them down alongside the M4 of Frozen. There is no getting out long. There is no getting past the first wave of defense.
Well done from Frozen and Carrigan. No issues whatsoever on that hold. Never backed away from their corners. Not fooled by the pump fake of FURIA initially. And a clean round, so they get to build money. So now it's no longer in that really harsh lose, and then you don't really have funds to buy back. Now they've got to build up a bank. And another chance for them to recover.
Brokey boosted atop his teammate's head, and Cello is the first victim of round 9.
He's been taking a lot of liberties getting into lower dark pretty quickly. And obviously it's been okay and gone unpunished with no ops in the field for FaZe, but now that Brokey's has his, you got to be careful with that kind of a very, very quick piece of map control. And Brokey has shifted over to the B bomb site.
Going to use a boost of their own with the sniper. Fallen's hoping he can get a deeper angle, but will Brokey be able to react fast enough? Yes, he will. Fallen to go down, and he would have realized there's a second player there as well, so yep. Brokey's looking into that corner. Skulls realizes he's got to fight alone because his two teammates are down in lower tunnels at the moment, and they're coming back up towards him. Brokey desperately hanging around, looking for another one. Wanting to find so much impact in this round, and smoked out, lurk smoke deployed from FURIA.
Almost looked like he wanted to push in front of that smoke. Called it off. Skull's going to take a blind shot with the AWP. Kesarado and Yuri joining up with him, but this is just a save. 36 seconds left on the clock. And with their own funds dwindling low and probably needing a drop over to Fallen, FURIA decide to back off and concede the round. So FaZe string 2 gun rounds together, 4-5. And now we're starting to see a little bit of that fight from FaZe.
It'd be fantastic to see Brokey step up. And I mean, that's another cliche for this FaZe team is Brokey is a big game player. He thrives in the chaos when the game gets messy. He throws the rulebook out the window, and he's redefined how to play a lot of situations that really only he can perform in.
Yeah, he's got some very very interesting qualities as an offer.
Yeah.
Thrives in chaos. Yeah, he's
very active, willing to take the next fight, move forward, make the unpredictable play. FaZe will continue to use this double up setup, and so Fallen is looking down into middle.
And Cello a lot more conservative with his passage in the Buchholz. Utility to prevent catwalk aggression. Smoke blown open. Fallen is so ready. Second time with the double op with a secondary offer. Rops has wanted to get aggressive and get a little tricky. And second time he's been punished doing it.
And well, Fallen has the most op kills in major history, so good luck dealing with him as Rops for the second time falls at his hands.
Yeah, just still building upon that record. 5-on-4 in the favor of FURIA.
Previous round it was Brokey that was able to get the opening kill for FaZe off of a short boost. Obviously can't use that again, and short is now being taken by FURIA. And Carrigan's up next as the defender of short. He'll play on the ledge. But the common util filters into place from FURIA. And Carrigan forced to reevaluate his positioning.
Carrigan's alone.
Yeah, this A bomb site looks very weak right now.
Which is crazy considering they don't have long control.
Oh, this is very weak. The closest player to them is Brokey, and he's down looking at middle.
If this ends up being just a catwalk hit off this map control, it's just going to be a save for FaZe, unless Carrigan does something absolutely crazy.
Well, that's exactly what he's going to have to do, because here comes the play from FURIA. 25 seconds left. And all attention's now on Carrigan. There's no one coming from long, at least. And here they come towards him, the footsteps and the charge to the FURIA fight, and it will not work out for Karrigan.
Yeah, I mean, you could see that one building up. There was no chance for Karrigan to do anything. I mean, that would have even been a cleaner round if there was any kind of a player and any kind of presence out towards long A as well. One other thing that FURIA is doing really good is these lurkers they're leaving in middle. We've seen Cello bail him out from that position. We've seen Fallen cut off a few rotations. This time it's Skulls to add one more as that execute begins. Able to find Brokey as he's shifting. FURIA working the map very, very well. And they extend to a 2-round lead. Rain, I think, wants the AWP. I'm assuming FURIA have taken it away and prevented it from being recovered. Regardless, he hears the footsteps on the other side of the door and doesn't want to lose his own rifle. Money in the bank for FaZe, so they can buy right back up into it. And Rops is going back to this AWP.
Hasn't worked, but...
Hasn't worked at all.
You know, third time lucky. Third time's the charm, Jason.
Problem is, it's not that it hasn't worked, it's that it's actually, I think, punished them. His two plays of trying to slide into an angle in the mid-round, now he tries to break the smoke, both times picked off by Fallen. It's almost been a detriment. And now it's a B-rush into the AWP.
Well, this time, Rops will connect. Cello to fall in the tunnels. But if FURIA keep it going, the answer to that is no. So they stole out on the initial play. So Rops has done enough to make FURIA consider other options. Or at least take a breather. They realize they can't keep all of their players in the tunnels for this long. They've got to start moving out, making sure there's no aggression at short. Making sure they haven't lost mid-control.
It also tells them that there is a double op setup in play, with Rops getting the kill. They're going to expect with the money that they know FaZe has, Brokey has an AWP also.
Yeah, you can see Fallen clearing out towards that common short boost as well. Realizing that the AWP could still be over that. They fell foul to that earlier on in the half. And FaZe have not redeployed it. Smoking out towards CT for Rain. He's actually going to play in front of it. He's found a gap and he's going aggressive. Although no one from FURIA was already on the other side of the doors, and Rain got that info, so he relinquishes control. And he goes back into a CT spawn behind the cover of the smokes. Being disruptive, but every timing is favoring FURIA.
And they can replenish this smoke as well.
Rain again in an advanced spot. He's gone back to the corner. And that smoke is not going to stop the vision of Rain. It's a great kill, but is there further? The answer to that is no with Yuri's reply. He was still blinded and fragged on as Rain stepped up with a chance, but not enough as FURIA begin to barrel through B, through the windows and the doors. It's Rops in the sight, and this double op setup will finally pay off. The answer is yet to be determined as Yuri flying through the sky. Great headshot on the AK, but the time is the problem that will elude him. And so FaZe, with Rops getting the opener and the essential closer, it will be a 5th round collected as we head into the final.
Well, you said it. Third time's the charm, and this time that AWP has positive impact for FaZe. Good round from Rops with his opening pick. And the late defense of that B bomb site as time dwindles, and FaZe bringing this back to an almost tied scoreline. 1 round remaining in the half. 1 round remaining for them to tie it up before switching sides. And FURIA call a timeout to discuss how they want to approach round 12.
It's great to see. You don't usually see FaZe go for the double op setup. You don't see many teams rock it this consistently and persistently throughout a half, but FaZe realized that, well, a normal game plan isn't working. We need to find a way to get into the game. We need to find a way to be competitive.
And, I mean, part of the reasons why they're getting back into this is they've done a really good job in the early round of shutting down the aggressive plays, like the kind of timing long hit that Karrigan and Frozen shut down earlier, the boost up from Brokey that took down Cello. Now you get an early pick from Rops as Cello tries to make another aggressive play in the upper tunnels with an AWP. So doing a good job of finding some early advantages and then just playing a standard round.
Rops making his move into the tunnels. Looking to open up again here with the secondary AWP. It would likely be a death sentence with the angle that Skulls is holding, though. Here comes the mid-play.
His push will come later on a timing. At the moment, he's holding for the one lurk, the B defender. Skulls to make a play to peek a little bit deeper in towards Hulls, but that's not happening. So stalemate for the moment.
Eventually, looks like Skulls wants to challenge, wants to fight, and Robs misses the shot. The commitment forward into the tunnels does not pay off for Mr. Cool.
Some nasty jiggles from Skulls to spot the info before the wide swing.
Now Rain dodges the flashbang, but in his elevated position, he wants to grab and kill back, but it's a loud dismount. Yuri alerted to his position in CT, but Rain was ready for the cello drop it short. Rain making the most of this moment towards CT. Carrigan's just gone through the short smoke. Carrigan's made his way around the back. And with Rain going down in CT, the play forward from Carrigan is being tracked by Caserato. He knows, and it won't even be Caserato to get that kill as Yuri turns back and spots out Carrigan first. And Skulls, who had dropped Robs, is taking position up inside of the B site. It is Brokey and Frozen in the last round of this first half to try and stop FURIA from breaking through the defenses, but there's just too many FURIA players in too many different positions, and a 7-5 scoreline at the turn of the first half. FURIA have the lead.
Frozen had a really frustrating time playing that mid to B position, kind of being the supportive element coming out of the doors. Had a really hard time all throughout this half, but at least we're seeing a little bit of the battle that FaZe can bring to the table. 5 rounds, not getting buried, recovering from the tough economic situation. It doesn't look pretty. It doesn't look convincing, but they're still here. They're still within striking distance.
It doesn't feel like enough, and I think there has to be more of a progression into the second half. And we'll get the T-side calling of Carrigan to try and get his team back into this and back into playoff spot contention in the Shanghai Major.
Third map would be Mirage, if we can get there. If FaZe can get there.
Yeah, it is on them.
They switch over to the T side. Had a little bit more success on offense on Inferno. So we'll see what Carrigan can manufacture. A second pistol on this map would go a long way for FaZe. They won the first. Smoke flash for Carrigan to get his team in the right position.
On Inferno, it was a big effort from Frozen as he was the player that stood above his teammates. On Dust2, it is Rain.
Look at this mid stack though.
And Brokey walking down into Caserato, who waits in the lower tunnels. So many targets, so many players here for FURIA. Rain to fight on. It is at least a trade on Caserato. Damage done to both remaining FURIA players in middle. And eventually Robs has got that kill to finish off Cello, but here's Fallen. Doesn't even need to see his opponent. He just knows exactly where he is. And that headshot through the smoke evens up the player count.
That's a crazy equalizing kill from Fallen. And now there's no more utility. So FaZe is going to lean on the P250 of Carrigan to take some long-range shots, duel against the USP, and they've got a low-health Yuri. They know they gushed the catwalk player, so they're saying, let's go at the weakness. Playing a headshot angle inside the A bomb site, taking a risk out towards long, and Yuri has everything coming towards him.
And with barely any health, he gets blasted with that shot from the P250. Skulls and Fallen now 2v3 as FaZe get into the bomb site. Fallen's actually got way closer than they might expect. Carrigan's about to walk to his death, but Fallen takes a while, but eventually connects that headshot. He goes back to the second, but where's his teammate? Skulls is so far away.
Yeah, I mean, he was trying to do everything he could to stay alive, but good aggression from FaZe to clean him out.
Damage done, but too many targets and too many issues as Skulls goes down, and FaZe win another pistol round. Both picked up here on Dust2.
Do FURIA want to buy back into this? Do they want the scout on Fallen? Good on FaZe for handling this. It looked for a moment like that mid-aggression was going to shut them down. But constant rebuttals, constant trades, and even Fallen here with the creative position. You can see Rain getting aggressive over the top. Frozen ready to pounce as well.
So no force from FURIA.
I like that. I like that.
So the scoreline should be tied up. FaZe are going to be going out long with the majority of their players, leaving Robs to solo lurk in the tunnels. Caserato leading the charge on the top mid play here from FURIA's defenses. They're going to hope that the strength in numbers of the USPs might be enough to overwhelm Rain. You need to be careful they don't get caught in these awkward fights. They've got more health now, and Robs comes out through the lower tunnels. A team kill in the mix.
Okay, this gets weird. Look at the health. Those USPs are feeling real dangerous when you look down at your HP and you're 24 on ROPS, 27 on Frozen.
So get out of there. Get out of the fights and get to the bomb site instead. For FaZe, at least, all of the remaining players in FURIA other than Kesserado are still in middle. So there is a timing here to get into the bomb site. And as soon as that bomb goes down, the chances of winning the round shrink.
Yeah, it definitely does. And they're even going to the wrong side of the map. So FaZe is going to get away with one. Bomb planted. Will be tied up at 7. And FURIA trying to hunt down ROPS, who they know is going to be the lurker consistently in the B tunnels throughout this half. Won't find him, however.
Oh, will they? Coming ever closer in behind ROPS. He's so low that a USP would mean instant death, and a headshot taking ROPS out. So an AK to be saved over for FURIA. Considering 0 investment, getting 2 kills and a saved AK, that's pretty massive from FURIA.
Yeah, it's beautiful because they're going to buy in the next round. In fact, if Fallen wants to be a little crazy, he could even save this scout as well. And then you could have a ton of money in the bank. But Fallen's going to upgrade to the AWP. No armor for Fallen. Glass cannon AWP. It was a menace on Inferno. He was a beast with it. And a chance to shut FaZe's offense down early.
FURIA don't get the luxury of playing with that momentum that they had on Inferno, but maybe they can reignite that. Deep molly into the longhouse. Kesserado looking to apply pressure, but here's Fallen's first chance. The smoke drops at Xbox. So his vision's severed off. His FaZe move closer down mid.
Yeah, they'll take catwalk control real quick. A little bit of utility out. Throwing some pressure into the middle of the map. Fallen will not be blocked off by that smoke. It's just a one-sided lurk smoke. Second of the smoke's going to be chucked out. Now there's the mid to B split. Flashbang. Fallen's got to get behind it.
He does. He drops into cover. The commitment up from Carrigan starting to accelerate towards the B bomb site, and even deeper CT smoke thrown in this time. Carrigan trying to get through the doors, allowing his teammate to jewel from the tunnels. Here comes Carrigan, and it's both on the B defenders for Carrigan.
It looked like they might have gotten stalled out. They kind of hesitated before coming through. I think they were hoping for a flashbang, but no one had anything. Regardless, FURIA can't buy. However, because of the saved AK-47, Skulls has some money going into the next round. And both teams their first gun round, a mid to B split that cannot be stopped. No nades to break open the smoke, no Molotovs to throw onto the other side to disrupt the pathing. And FaZe take a lead.
You're mentioning coming into the second half, FaZe did find a way to play themselves into the first. They recovered the economic woes. They got a few rounds extra at the end. Didn't look pretty, but it's the effectiveness of getting those rounds to work with that has kept them in this. And they push into the lead. How much more can FaZe pick up?
Yeah, this has to be a moment where they really build into this T side. However, this is one last round of stopping power they've got to get through. 4 M4s in the AWP come back out for FURIA's defense. And then once again, if FaZe can win this and close it out, there's no money left in the bank. And then you have the money control that's plagued you throughout both of the maps so far. All 3 halves of play. Deep smoke. On top of Xbox, Fallen jumping around for information, trying to spot any kind of a fast catwalk play, which is nothing.
Rain has moved ever closer to Fallen.
He's got no flashbangs, though, and no Molotov to take this angle away, so I think they kind of have to wait for Brokey to activate him around the corner.
It would be ill-advised to go dry. Taking the time. Broky's now arrived. He's got the utility.
They're just
going to use him. They're going to go try. They're going to go fight into the open, and Fallen misses the shot, has to drop off. It's Rain continuing to fight in towards the A side. Serato using the cover of the bomb site, but FaZe are out of there. They've dived off. They've gone back in the middle. They want to go to B, and Carrigan again has slipped in that. Can he take them down inside of the B bomb site again? He's found a great headshot, and a second kill from Carrigan. Once again, the one man needed to take down the entire defense of the B bomb site, and a shot through the smoke on the retreating Fallen. Serato will grab it up instead. And FURIA forced into the save, and FaZe are starting to wake up.
Yeah, Carrigan ain't gonna go down without a fight. Breathing some life into this team with 2 rounds of double entries on the B bomb site. And they were so assertive in making that decision, they didn't even wait for a mid to B smoke. They just crossed, taking a big risk, and Carrigan, some bangers into the B bomb site. And once again, FURIA relegated to a save. Serato and Yuri. But after these 2 weapons, I don't think there's money to go for a buy around it. Maybe down to pistols as the losing bonus builds up. And for an in-game leader like Carrigan, these mid-to-B splits, the success he's had in back-to-back rounds with them are just things he can build on for later in the half. We know he likes to call based off of success, and he's going to lean on that weakness and those wins and the pressure applied to maneuver FURIA's defense into a weak position later on in this half. You know what? FURIA might just be crazy enough to go for a buy here. Serato 4,800. Yuri can drop an M4 over.
It has been those B players, those B defenders getting beaten down, so their money. It's in a rough spot.
Yeah, but you're right. So convincing on the takes into the mid to B splits into the B bomb site that there's been, what, two weapons saved this round, 3 the last time they hit it?
Yeah.
You're not getting a clean victory yet if you're FaZe, so you're kind of not out of the woods in terms of going up against a buy. Serato, or I mean, excuse me, Yuri has 1,200 left. Cello 1,100 left. And Broky's going to find Fallen, who's trying to get frisky, trying to give his team an advantage.
You can understand the feeling that he has to step up there and try and challenge with the ult, but it's been a very quiet second half for Fallen Sniper in comparison to what he was able to perform on Inferno. His great shots, vintage Fallen, but a lot quieter here on Dust2. Skulls will get a go with the AWP now. Smoke blown open, great shot. Rain connected onto by Skulls, so he's able to pull his team back into an even number situation.
And I wonder now, with that pick, how do you want to handle this if you're FaZe?
Frozen also made a step earlier, so Serato knows there's at least one player in the longhouse, so they stay focused on this position. And Frozen comes out, but Serato ready. And when he misses, Yuri's in behind it.
And Broky can't attack into this. Not with the AWP and not with the bomb on his back. Giving time for Rops to find a lurk kill. Sees nothing at CT, close up, there's one, that's Skulls, now Broky activates.
Goes to the P250 to try and get into this close quarter fight. He slips to the other side of the smoke, and the shots connect, it's awkward. Yuri doesn't drop him, and Broky gets it into a 1v1.
They're gonna meet in middle.
Not a lot of time here, not a lot of time for Broky. It's gonna be a long run to that B bomb site, but he's going for it.
He's got time.
And Cello thinks it's gonna be the A site.
Well, if Cello sees nothing, he might just drop down because you don't hear footsteps long either. Cello, oh, he's out of position for the moment. Gambling towards that A bomb site. Broky, I don't know if there's time.
He's gonna have to sprint, but the time, nope, there is no time to get to the B site. And so Cello positions himself at short in the middle, not allowing the fight to happen. And Broky takes the risk. He needs to not die here, and he won't. He'll keep the AWP, but he runs the risk, and unfortunately not enough time.
I can't even blame him with low HP. That's a long route to run, though. He seemed so convinced he was going to have it, just missed it by about a second. So the lead is cut to 1. FURIA given a bit of a gift there, and a 1v1 that just ends quietly.
Cello into the lower tunnels, combined with a peek up short here from Fallen. Some CT aggression thrown into the mix. They don't want to allow FaZe to have such easy mid control. Cello stands and fights. Blinded and put in an uncomfortable spot. He moved out to the left side. Fortunately for FURIA, Fallen's around, so he gets the trade back on Rain. But look at Carrigan. He's moved through mid again. He's found the gap again. Can he outmatch Caserado? Yes, he will. Gets himself into the cutout in mid, and Rops is already playing on this lurk smoke. He's moved out, but Skulls is playing close. And when that smoke fades away, will Skulls get his chance? Rops has gone by his vision, and Skulls decides to turn, and Rops looks back. There's no way you can catch him sleeping, and Carrigan has become the big impact player for FaZe. Another round picked up off his playmaking ability. He makes his way out the mid doors as Fallen falls back. And Brokey to close on Yuri. It is double figures for FaZe, and we are getting that performance we wanted to see from FaZe on map 2.
I am loving everything I'm seeing from Carrigan. While his plays on Inferno, his reads were off and not having impact here on Dust2, he is such a menace. The entries towards the B bomb site, and now finding gaps and taking aggressive plays and playing with some balls, which is what we've wanted to see out of FaZe all event long. A 2-round lead and back to pistols for FURIA.
Carrigan's always had that bold nature when there's nothing left to lose and you're on the brink of collapse elimination. He's made calls in the past that no one would dare make. And when they need someone to start making plays, taking space and being confident, Carrigan is the one to lead by example. 11 rounds are teed up.
And that's got to ignite you if you're FaZe. Watching your leader do this, watching Carrigan have this kind of a performance for you and backs against the wall. FaZe could get dangerous going into map 3 if they close this out.
And he's also the one that needs to fire them up emotionally. So if Carrigan's having a great game, he starts to feel his calls, he starts to feel it individually. A lot of energy can start to be provided from Carrigan. We've seen him celebrate with the crowd in the previous round. FURIA have stalled out. They come through mid again. Carrigan at the front, this time stopped by Fallen. Canserado's close by. Rain making sure that he gets that spam through the doors, and Fallen will follow suit. Yuri moves into the open, but Rain is so aware of that kind of maneuver. He was doing it all CT half long.
And Skulls has been heard dropping down. Rops has just called it over. Rain,
oh no.
nade in hand. Oh no.
Skulls out of nowhere with a triple on the 5-7. And it was all looking swimmingly for FaZe, but suddenly again, a chance for FURIA. Erupts back into it from their newest addition. And a little bit of liquid luck from Skulls. It is now Cello in the 1v1. Rops has the advantage though.
But in a game where Carrigan steps up, this is the scenario. Rops has always been dominant. The clutch situations, it's his turn to provide for FaZe.
Cello did have a pistol, but now an AK-47. Rops waits under the window, looking to make sure that this round is finished in favor of FaZe. Cello not able to stop him, and cool as ever in the clutch.
That's his wheelhouse. No matter how much he struggled, you know he's going to be calm and collected. This is unreal. Rain getting caught with utility, but oh, the follow-up in the long-range 5-7 as well. No way. That had to have been a heart-sinking, butt-clutching moment for FaZe. 2 rounds away from a third map. And FURIA's defense has struggled to get into this. Carrigan calling circles around them, entry fragging, being a beast.
Oh, he's doing it again. He's gone to the mid doors again. He goes through the fire. He goes through the flames. And yeah, a little wild from Carrigan. Skulls is going to stop it, but he loved the attitude.
That was a heat check moment for Carrigan.
He was like, how much can I get away with?
I know. How much are they going to let me have? 5-on-4 in the favor of FURIA. They've won a single round in this second half. Defense has not been holding strong. Rops is going to have to give up his lurk position and come join up with the team because he's got the bomb on his back.
Caserado setting up a flash play. He'll play from Goose. He has support out towards the bottom of the ramp of Fallen.
They have the flashbangs to neutralize Fallen's op.
And the smokes to sever off the vision. They go into the open, and Fallen is still going to connect. Now Caserado unleashes from Goose, and he gets phased by the throat. It's 2 players left, 30 seconds remaining, and they've got to fight out of a pit of despair, but that's exactly what they're doing. Brokey and Robs fighting into this, and there is no way that they find a way out of it. Robs and Brokey do the unthinkable, and Cello now again asked to clutch. He lost it in the last round against Robs, and Robs is no longer alone. He's got Brokey laser focused towards short, and Brokey misses the shot. He's going to be out of it for just a second here for a reload. And it's about patience. It's about discipline from the remaining forces of FaZe. They're so comfortable in this. They're not allowing Cello a single opportunity. The Peaks committee knows exactly where both remaining players are, but there is no time. And it is unbelievable from FaZe that they find their way back into that round. Fallen and Caserado have done everything required, but FaZe find a way.
And that's it. That's the round. That's the round that signifies FaZe is going to win this map, and they're back in this series. That's the impossible rounds they have no business winning, no business recovering, and they somehow make it happen. That's their trademark they've been known for over the past 3 years, and a signal just gets sent out to FURIA that FaZe have arrived in this elimination game to fight for the playoffs. And there's nothing you can say if you're FURIA. There's nothing you can say to alleviate the pain and the sting of that round.
Once again, operating in the chaos.
It's taken them 3 halves of Counter-Strike to hit that level, to hit that point where you start seeing Kerrigan take over on openings, aggressively finding gaps in the defense. Rops gets a clutch. Brokey pulls out some magic. This has been a dominant half for FaZe. And Mirage looms right around the corner.
Robs gets into the mid-smoke. It's going to be flashed, unleashed by Rain. The flash actually connected with the back of Robs, so he moves out mid regardless, gets himself into the cubby that we seen Carrigan use earlier in the half. Caserado's not here alone. It's a double setup for FURIA. It was a double setup. Unfortunately, they did have 2 players because Caserado had to trade Fallen.
Trying to get a little tricky with that defensive smoke, trying to show like they don't have a setup at the stairs, like it's more passive. Rain still clips ahead off of one. Rops lurking through.
Oh, it's a risk, and it's not going to work out for Rops.
Yeah, but look at information. FaZe is right back up towards Catwalk. Caserado knows the possibility. Nade is out, it's beautiful. But into the A-bomb site we go. Kerrigan's down, another 2v4.
This time it's Frozen and Brokey. They're going to move forward together, and FURIA know that every round is losable. They know that. A clear signal sent out, and Frozen's got a headshot, and the bomb plant secured because of that. But FURIA have moved quickly, looking to make sure that Dust2 does not close here and now. Brokey to fall, Frozen follows suit, and Cello gets the double, and FURIA back. At least with the 9th round, it will not end yet.
Rops gets that 1 kill on Caserado. He wins that engagement, and that round is done. So close. A thread. 5 HP left on Caserado. 3 more rounds that FURIA have to string together. The bomb plant's gonna help. Frozen's run out of money. Weapon will be dropped over. But FURIA hanging on for dear life, and FaZe continue making this difficult. And you can feel just one of these rounds is going to collapse.
It's not easy being a FaZe Clan fan, I'm sure, for everyone at home. You know, they probably have aged a lot more than any other fan base. Certainly make it exciting, nerve-wracking, and they commit out long. Fallen to hit the light shot, but it's not going to slow Brokey down. So they burst out long. They've got that to work with.
We haven't really seen a round like this, though, from FaZe. The last time they tried to go long, kind of got stalled out, shut down. I haven't seen them with like kind of a long control early in the round and sort of play that utility game with defensive smokes, trying to track up long. Fallen's holding the off out, so they don't need to use utility yet. If FaZe don't get some pressure applied to this A bomb site soon, the utility, the counter nades from FURIA can be just so dangerous. Likewise, though, FURIA's defense controls neither long nor catwalk, so they're playing a dangerous game at the moment.
Yeah, great flash is fallen forced away. Oh, but he goes through the smoke. He attempts a wild no-scope. Doesn't work out, but they're being disrupted. FURIA wanting to fight long. There's a play coming through short, and it's Carrigan again. The playmaker, catch it, a good time, and Carrigan comes through. A follow-up, and it's a team kill in the end on the Fallen. And with some classic Carrigan calls and playmaking ability, unthinkable rounds being flipped back. Clutches from Rops and a bit of Brokey brilliance. FaZe Clan are back in this. Welcome back, FaZe Clan. They finally arrived to the major. And Skulls is going to do everything he can as he moves out, but Brokey will break him at the end. FaZe are here to play, and we have got a series after all.
There we go, baby.
And it's got to be said, that is the first time we've really seen Carrigan come to life, play with the crowd as he's known for doing it, and play
that Dust2 and saying we had the opportunities, we had our moments where we could have stopped things. Carrigan wrecked us a couple of times, sure, but we had a 5-on-2 we let slip away. So FURIA, I think, isn't going to be coming into this too battered and bruised. They remember the dominance on Inferno, and they feel like probably Dust2 was one that slipped out of their control by mistakes on their part. And we go into this final clash on the pistol round. FURIA starting on the CT side, FaZe on the T side attacking into them. Smoke, flash, flash on Brokey and Carrigan, and all 5 members of FaZe over towards the B bomb site. And once again, FURIA have a good call. 3-man setup here. Fallen, Serato, and Yuri all lie in defense.
One last spot in the playoffs. One final map. FaZe versus FURIA, and a B play being set up for FaZe as they charge into what's Yuri waiting at short. They leap out of the window. He's seen so many FaZe players penetrate this B site, and he's doing everything he can to hold on, but he goes down. And so Serato is the only player left and missing bullets at every tap. Skulls has arrived back through the market, but Frozen will deny access into the bomb site. And for FaZe, they will be happy that they get to continue on the T side. They close out Dust2 with a thunderous T-side performance, and they open up Mirage with a pistol victory here. Cello should not be given any opportunity back into this, and the bullets will break him as FaZe take the opening round.
Yeah, picking up right where they left off with a strong offense. And I mean, this is obviously nothing too complicated. Basically just a B hit, very, very fast as you like. FURIA, not a lot of stopping power, missing the initial salvos of all 3 of the USPs, so those Glocks get to swing wide and invade the entire B bomb site. Nobody from FURIA could work together. First player goes down. Yuri's on his own. Even with 1, it's not enough as follow-up Glocks come through. Second round buy from FURIA. No scout. They've got 5.7s and 2 MP9s on Fallen and Yuri. And Yuri's going to get aggressive. Oh, a little pinch in the Buchholz.
Flash going to go down. Yuri looks away. It's enough time for Carrigan to go into that fight and come out on top of it. And now Carrigan comes up to defend his teammate, and enough utility and damage with bullets to drop Fallen as he burns away.
Carrigan again, starting to get that look in his eye, starting to get that aggressive nature. Another pair of opening kills for him.
Now both maps have started with a bit of shakiness in the first few rounds. FaZe were able to win the pistol on Dust2. They were able to win against the force buy. It was FURIA.
It was the Glocks.
It was on the Glocks that they couldn't stop. But it looks a little different right now. It feels much more in control for FaZe. They're going to start rotating the final members of FURIA over towards B, and hoping that FaZe decide to finish here, giving them the best chance possible. Cello's going to play towards the bench. The bomb's out mid, so it has the opportunity to go anywhere. And Frozen's just drooling on his own. There's no one with him. He's comfortable enough to just take that fight. He's got the second player in the bomb side as well. Soon to detect Skulls and realize he's the only player left over on this side of the map. And so FaZe will move into A. 4 players up against the 1.
And these were the rounds you mentioned, the Glock round, back on Inferno as well, the opening map. It was FaZe getting buried earlier, and even having on Dust2, as you mentioned. of just getting buried beneath their own economy. Now, obviously, that's got more potential to happen in the second half when they switch over to the CT side. But good to see them win a pretty clean, convincing second round after the pistol without any real issues. And FURIA now can't buy anything. P250's picked up for a little bit of danger. Flashbang on K-Serrato, set up some kind of a mid-crunch, you'd imagine. That mid-swing will come off Catwalk. And through Khan. K-Serrato gonna wait for the sound cues, any kind of timing to activate his teammates.
FaZe will have learned to give respect to all rounds, including this one. Frozen goes into Khan, flash coming through the window. Looking to create a little bit of chaos for these pistols to thrive, but no chance in this one for FURIA. And single kill onto Frozen, which FaZe will take. And K-Serrato waits in the underpass, yet to be detected.
Yeah, it could be one more tricky one here, but FaZe no issue in terms of closing out the round. So 3-0, and then we get the guns. Then we get the guns for FURIA. Fallen. He snap-bought the glass cannon up on Dust2. I wonder if he does it again here on Mirage.
Unfortunately for Fallen on Dust2, there was nowhere near the same amount of impact that he was getting on Inferno, right? It was a very quiet CT half for him in the all-pink department.
Yeah, the mid-control on Dust2 and catwalk control on Dust2 for FaZe was on point. Plenty of Molotovs to take Oppers off the angle. So Fallen does go for the op. He's got light armor with it as well. 3-0. And Brokey chooses to stay off the AWP for the time being. Plenty of money built up for FaZe in these first 3 rounds.
Yeah, 4 Khalils and 1 AK-47 for FaZe. Great chance here to get the first round win for FURIA.
Yeah, I think they might be okay with it, thinking maybe there's going to be some FURIA players without a whole lot of head armor, but there's 3 of them that have bought that. So Khalils might find some difficulty in getting some easy kills. Smoke broken open, FaZe showing mid-control, window smoke, con smoke, base of catwalk smoke, Molotovs everywhere for the moment, but FURIA, it's the B bomb site that looks like it's going to be under attack pretty quickly here. Rops moves into a lurking position in underpass. Joined up. This feels like a fake all of a sudden.
Well, the utility goes in. Carrigan has appeared through the window. No real strong reaction from FURIA, and they'll realize that FaZe have not followed through in that B play. So the defense does not budge.
Yeah.
No readjustment. It's Yuri holding the window, ever patient, but Rops flies through. And Yuri looked like he was going to win that. Great shot from Fallen. Nice flick up towards short. Is there a second offering to Fallen Sniper?
Oh, the problem is now window room is compromised. Frozen in that position. K-Serrato's got to be mine. Oh, okay, Cello.
What is that?
What is up with Brazilians in the B halls of Mirage? Unreasonable.
Jumping up, grabbing the headshot. And round done. FURIA with 4 alive. Robs will fall. And that's a great round from Cello. And you're right. What is up with the jumping in that spot?
All right, 3-1. That's just FaZe, I think, testing the waters mostly. 5 Khalils. Trying to throw a little trickery to take advantage of a situation. Trying to, show that B hit. Get some mid-control, get someone boosted up into the window room for a late flank as they go back to the B hit later on. Forcing out the utility for the late push in, but Cello shuts it down.
Well, we talked about FaZe and the fact that they played with majority Khalils in the last round. That meant they had enough money rather to get a buy coming into the follow-up. So all out for Brokey this time around. Fallen peering over the connector smoke. Knows that Rain is crossed behind the top mid boxes. Smoke's fading away. And Fallen right on it, right on the target. But Brokey's moved away.
Carrigan with his mid presence creeps down. Delayed by a Molotov. There's a con smoke thrown. Might be a little gap on one side.
Yeah, there is. On that left side. And it starts to expand out a little bit. Won't prove to be the biggest problem here. It does allow Carrigan to look out towards the bottom of the stairs. And actually, he wants to use this gap. He wants to slip in behind it. He's got himself bottom stairs control.
And spotted.
Just gets info, drops back into Con. His teammates now following up. And Fallen looking towards connector, but he's smoked out. He's going to blast open that smoke, but the flash comes in and an ill-advised time for Fallen to make the play forward into the open. Rain from the ladder room. It's one on Fallen. Skulls gets cleared, distracted about opponents in other directions, and so just gets cleared out of position. And now with 35 seconds left, Cello gets spammed down through ticket box, and FURIA don't even see their opponents. They're just getting destroyed by FaZe in unfortunate fights. And with Yuri's turn back on Rain, the stream might not be dead yet, but it's starting to take steps away. With KSerrato already at B, yeah, he's out of there. Okay, so FaZe has shown a little bit of the idea of what they want to do on this T side so far, right? Both rounds have been set up to allow a player to get a good lurk position. We saw, you know, the jump up in towards window from Froze in the previous round that didn't pan out. This time a player up in ladder room. Rain, who's able to take down Fallen with the op that really cracks open the defense. Fallen kind of forced into that position by the smoke and maybe trusting Yuri to have glimpse and hold for that kind of a peek, but it doesn't pan out to save his life. So FURIA will have to have that conversation, that mid control leading to a player in window room and ladder room, how they want to handle those lurks. FaZe, one of the teams that chose to return to Europe for a boot camp between their RMR and the elimination stage when they came back, and mentioned in interviews, spent a lot of time creating some new tricks, and one of the benefits of it was you get to practice against teams who aren't at the major who you may end up playing, so you get to kind of show off and really test some of the new ideas you have and the tricks you want to throw into executes. And that is the luxury of European Counter-Strike as well. A lot of the tier 2 or 3 teams are still very high caliber opponents, so you still get some decent practice. FaZe going to go for an execute towards the A bomb site. It's going to be a direct hit. All the util being tossed out almost immediately into the round here. But FURIA have to adjust. They have to deal with this threat. They throw some utility of their own to try and slow this down. But dissuade FaZe from moving forward, but they're not stopping. They go into the attack. Fallen swings out. First player off the top of Tetra's gone. Robson Brokey to follow up. And a battering ram of FaZe players breaks through the furious defenses. My brother in Christ, we got an aggressive, confident FaZe on this third map. FURIA is in a lot of trouble, a lot of danger. 5-1. And so convincing and so fearless from FaZe. Qualities we've waited so long at this major to see out of them. Timeout surely from FURIA coming before the next gun round. They're going to save this M4 on Cello, MP9 on KSerrato. Nothing to be happy about. But did we expect anything else, or should we have expected anything else with this FaZe Clan team than showing up at the last possible second? It is very FaZe-like. But this might be one of the few times where I've been worried they wouldn't show up at all after watching them get to this point. After watching capitulations throughout this elimination stage, I was concerned. And timeout from FURIA called. Good trade from Kerrigan. Brokey as well with the supportive position. Rops coming out Palace to dispatch Skulls in the cubby. I've just got to know what the conversation was after Inferno. I want to know like how Kerrigan approached that situation, heading out of Inferno, what words he said to the team, maybe even what words he said to himself, because so often in these moments we have gone back in the past, and Kerrigan has given us some great insight into those kind of moments. You'll know he had something prepared. There was a great point as well brought up by Yanko on the desk. He was saying, you know, if this is to be the last time that Kerrigan plays a major in the FaZe jersey, you don't want to go out with a whimper and not make it to the playoffs. No, go out with a battle. Go out with a bang. They're looking to do it now. And it'll be a whole different conversation if they do make it to the playoffs of whether they can have impact against the next teams waiting for them. The other 7 teams already filling up the bracket. And once again, it's Kerrigan at the front of the attack here for FaZe. Up short. So much ground already taken. It hasn't been spotted. The short player, this could be a problem though. His back turn, Yuri was just waiting in behind him. So Kerrigan down and FaZe have to play a 4v5. And he didn't have a teammate pushed up towards the chair with him, so... Yeah, Kerrigan was trying to do a lot right out of the gate with that position. And kind of forgetting to make sure that there's no catwalk push. Rain didn't have the angle on it from this spot on the map. So Kerrigan very susceptible as he peers towards Khan. Another smoke to block off access, but Rain is going to turn into a lurk. 2 players ramp, Rops up in Palace. And Fallen will be the point of contact at Ticket. Oh, Brokey had the angle on to Fallen. Fortunately for Fallen, those bullets go through the wall, so he only loses half of his health. And there's one thing Rain is comfortable with, it's playing mid on Mirage alone. 2 players fighting him in connector. It takes the might of two men to fight him as FURIA come out on top of the jewel in mid. Brokey trying to get out towards the site, but the utility heating things up and making it impossible for him to plant. And that's buying crucial seconds here for FURIA. 15 seconds left. One last tick from Brokey as he commits to the bomb plant. And FURIA will have to play retake.
This is winnable. Brokey has to be very cognizant of the flank.
He's not looking at it right now, not thinking about it whatsoever. But now he goes back to it, the internal clock, the timing in his head as he goes back to look for the flank of Cello. But the distraction being set up by the push-through ticket. Brokey's got the pick. Cello knows he's in there, but he's giving away his position. He shot a few bullets into the wall, and now Brokey is fully fixated upon his spot. And it's Brokey and Robs looking to close it out again. The numbers favor FURIA, but does the post plan. As Robs peeks up off the top of the stairs, the time ticks on, and KS Serrano can do nothing but try to flee the scene, and even that mercy is denied by Brokey.
You're getting it all now from FaZe. You're getting everything. Another desperate clutch. 5-on-3 in the favor of FURIA in the post plant, but everything goes their way. Rops delivers inside the bomb site. Brokey ignores it, tanking the damage from behind him to handle the flank, and Cello, that mistake, that crucial mistake, that's going to be so mentally tilting on an individual level of your Cello.
Fallen's got the AWP out. He's got to be the hero of the team here. Everybody else is on pistols. And can Fallen take matters into his own hands? FaZe don't give him the immediate chance in mid. The firepower that we've seen from FURIA on Inferno has disappeared. We're not getting that same Kesserado, we're not getting that Fallen impact. But he'll chime in now.
Didn't expect the AWP. So that's one free kill Fallen gets out of it. The next ones are going to be more difficult as FaZe is now aware of the danger.
The element of surprise no longer exists. And so Fallen repositions the sniper away from Khan, back over towards short.
FaZe is just doing the same thing as the last round. You have Rain in this lurk position underneath the window. Up and rifle come up ramp. And you got Rops lurking up in Palace again. Has just run it back, and Fallen's AWP has rotated elsewhere. So all you have to defend is Skulls with his Deagle, and Cello with the P250 over in jungle.
Not a great smoke. Now Fallen watching short. The follow-up smoke is into Khan. The head shows, and Fallen's got another one in him. The pistols now need to do some work. The pistols need to combine. Robs cuts through Skulls. Cello's got an AK. And Yuri ever closer towards CT, but no one from FaZe dare venture into spawn. But Yuri strikes, there's the 5-7 gap, and a missed shot from Fallen. But the turn back from Robs unravels all of the hard work of Fallen's AWP. And the numbers will crumble here for FURIA. KS Serrano goes down through the triple box. And we are getting the kind of performance out of Robs we've been waiting to see all major long.
And you're getting a little bit of plot armor for FaZe. That's a shot Fallen. With the performances he's had in this major, you expect him to hit 10 out of 10 times. And that missed shot cost FURIA everything. That was their chance to shock FaZe and come back into this half. A wonderful opportunity in back-to-back rounds where the rounds slip away. A 5-on-3 post plant. And a very basic missed shot from Fallen.
After being so good up to that point. Gets the first two picks. He's all over the place, making it impossible for FaZe to get a read on what the AWP is, and misses this one. Costs not only his life, but Cello's. And then the follow-up final kill onto Kesserado. And Rob stoic as ever, as the scoreline continues to increase here for FaZe. That playoff performance no longer seems like a dream. FaZe set up in the apartments.
At the start of this series, this felt like a very susceptible FaZe. A FaZe that was within reach of FURIA, but they have woken up after Inferno.
Carrigan charging towards B, but was the solo player to do it. He ended up getting caught by Fallen. Skulls also chimes in, so FURIA with a 5v3. Their best chance to win a round in a long time.
I mean, you can't let this one slip out of your hands. You already had this once. Cello gonna clear out base of mid, where Rain has been lurking, but don't give up any free kills, and Frozen's provided one. Robs, surely you come through that.
It's Rain to come through Palace. Out of the smoke into Yuri. Brokey at least fighting back here for FaZe, but it is keeping FaZe within touching distance of getting back into this round. After 2 clean openers for FURIA, we said they couldn't let it slip. They couldn't let it go.
Damage is still valuable.
Caserado waits it short, that rifle. Dropping Brokey, leaving Frozen 1v3. And let's see how much damage you can get out of this AK-47.
Yeah, it's still very nice if you can get a couple of kills right here at the end. So a little bit of, that sucks. It was looking cool though.
It was looking great, man.
Yeah.
He had some great moves on him. Just unfortunately fumbled it at the end.
Yeah, I think now you just saved the AK-47. Everyone from FURIA's backed off. They recognize the same thing. They can't afford to just go down in this 1v3 for no reason. The round's already won. So don't give Frozen any of these late trash kills that take economy out of your hands.
Well, there certainly was a risk in terms of how they approached the start of this round, and you have Carrigan just sort of charging out of the apartments, going into the open, sent in with Util on his own, and if it works out, fantastic. You've created so much space, and B, you probably created panic.
Not needed.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Another rifle gone.
Yeah, not necessary whatsoever. So FURIA is still going to be playing at the point where their economy can be broken, very fragile. And these like little B fakes that FaZe are throwing in aren't being too impactful. I mean, FURIA's done a really good job of neutralizing like the 1 or 2 man pushes into the B halls that are designed to apply the pressure, that are designed to get you 1 kill, cause some chaos, throw chaos in your comms. FURIA's handling it so well. Seven to 2, 5-round lead for FaZe. FURIA's best chance to get back into the half right now is winning this round. The money on FaZe is not looking good. So many close moments and clutch rounds that have cost them their economy. If you manage to break them on this T side, you can start clawing yourself back and try and get things up at 5 to 7 when you switch sides.
Oh, aggressive ramp play coming towards Rops. He sees the shadow. He's got the headshot. And Rops will ravage them. Fallen just holding, looking to try and deal with it, but there's no stopping Rops in this kind of form. 3rd kill, Fallen down, and FURIA left with just 2 players. There is nowhere to go, no fight to be had, and FaZe have won the round immediately.
There we go. There's some of that swagger from Rops. 12 and 4. He's been a focal point, almost the face of FaZe's slump of form. Here in this 3rd map, he's the driving force to a dominant T side yet again.
Caserado, that's the bomb. That is the bomb, but there's a problem. There's a player in mid, and so Caserado couldn't make anything happen. So 8 to 2 up. Mr. Cool with a 4K, another one. And he's having a fantastic final map of this series.
This is basically a 1v3 for Rops, and then he just styles. I mean, it's great. You see him step up to the fight against the Alper. You get 2 kills, and sometimes you think like, okay, I gave us a 5-on-3. I don't need to challenge this Alper. But he's like, you know what? I can style Fallen. I can throw a few jiggles in there, bait out a shot. Great sequence from Rops. And it's FURIA who are back to the dumps of pistols. Hero M4 on Yuri out of desperation.
It's been a rough year for Rops. Last year was fantastic. Started CS2, as we mentioned. He was one of the best players in the game. Certainly seen a drop-off individually. Great to see him fragging in this kind of game. But 1 for 1 at the start. It's Carrigan to go down, but Rain to follow through. And Connector smoked out for the time being for FURIA. Looking to hold back the FaZe players for at least the next few seconds.
It's got to be a little bit awkward for Frozen and Rain with all the smokes and con. Don't know what's around them, but they stay silent the whole time, and FURIA has started to drift away. Rops is just going to wreck you at the A bomb site as he walks in. Very confident. Good P250 work from Cello. M4 in the hands of Caserado, but over at the B bomb site, he really hasn't been involved in a lot of this half. Your star player has been not able to have impact whatsoever.
Fallen pokes himself up, swings into the open. Rops and Rain combine. And Keserado's going to do everything he can. That utility's going to be good. That's Brokey blasted away, but look at the position of Robs. But Keserado had that as well.
No kit.
And yeah, the lack of kit is a problem. He's got to move very quickly, and he's got to stick it. He's just got to hold it. And is Rain going to think he's going to stick it? Here he comes over the top. Keserado with a full 10 seconds. Rain to run him down, and Keserado comes off it. He will get every single kill, but not the time enough to get the defuse. And that is why they call him Brain at the end of the day in his team. Brain is comfortable in those moments.
He plays it perfectly. That round you encounter one M4 and mostly pistols, and you're thinking, okay, they're taking an econ round. They're likely not to have a kit whatsoever. So Rain plays it to a timing to where no matter, he's always going to kill him if he runs full on at that point, and it forces Keserado off the bomb regardless.
Desperation for FURIA now, so a double up setup coming out. Keserado falling, bringing out the snipers, hoping that this is the key to finding a third round in the half. But the best case scenario is 3 rounds on the defensive Mirage. Missed shot from Keserado. Luckily, we'll get away.
And he's just so desperate to be involved in this game. Rops against Fallen again. We gonna get any jiggles? Fallen.
Oh, no, we're not. We're just going to get the swing. And the instant headshot from Rops. Fallen has been played out of the game as Rops is dominating him in back-to-back rounds.
Oh, good patience from Brokey as well. Knows another play is going to be coming. Now you've spotted a second in Con. You've seen one on Catwalk. FaZe still spread around the map, so they can't take immediate advantage of the information.
Cello taking Brokey out as he runs back through the T apartments. Numbers even. FURIA doing a decent job of keeping themselves in this round.
And Cello's seemingly aware. They know Frozen is still alive up in those B halls. The normal player for the T side of FaZe who's waiting there. Ooh, sound cue though. Frozen hiding, and he's fooled him.
Oh, wow. Frozen, this is incredible. Goes out into the open. Takes Cello down. Keserado chiming in with that op. Robs coming out of Palace is not a comfortable position for this. Oh, but how has he flicked back? How has he managed to get back to jungle in time? Yuri should have taken that kill, and Keserado cannot do enough. 10 rounds in the first half for FaZe, and the Shanghai playoffs are awaiting them.
I'm telling you, plot armor. The idea that Rops doesn't get killed there is mental. FURIA have just been knocked off their game. From the second half of Dust2 on, it has just been FaZe dominance. And FURIA know it at this point. Unfathomable to think that that was just a waltz in. The reaction from Rops, pinpoint as well. And a devastating half of Counter-Strike for FURIA.
How does Rops get away with that from Palace, man? How does he get the flick off? How does Yuri not take it? And now all the one of the monitors have gone out here. Yuri, tech issue.
Yeah.
Get the admin down there, try and figure it out.
You know what? I'd say the same thing. I feel like, give me a moment.
Kick the PC cable out.
I need a moment to chill after that.
Oh, no, there we go.
We're back.
Yeah. We're back in the game. There's no restart needed. The pistol round awaits for FURIA. And so does a miraculous run if they can pull it off, but it seems so unbelievably unlikely right now.
It's got to be devastating. I think back to some of the interviews we heard from Keserado earlier this year, back in July. You know, expressing how much he wants to bring a major to Brazil. He wants his first major to be Brazilian within a Brazilian team. How much he's fighting and dedicating himself to accomplishing that goal, and it seems like it's still going to be at least another major away. Not even a chance to fight in the playoffs.
Well, his best chance at winning it was actually in Brazil back in 2022 in Rio. That is the last time FURIA were in the playoffs of a major. It looks like that will remain a fact after today. Ready to go in towards A. Rain plays out towards Ticket. Rops waiting at Sandwich. They cross on by him. He's got info of the player on default. He'll allow Rain to deal with that. And have you seen a piss around as clean as that one? Rops and Rain shutting down the entire FURIA force.
It's over. There's no chance. This is filthy. All headshots, all 5 kills for Rain and Rops. And FURIA, if they weren't stunned before, they're stunned now.
And we know this FURIA team have struggled when it comes to the high-pressure games. We've seen it at IEM Rio when they made it into the playoffs, when they made it into the semifinals. They got blanked by Mouse. And Fallen said, you know, I maybe underestimated how little stage experience my team has.
Yeah, talking to him after that game, he was very surprised and a little bit devastated, I think, that it went in that direction. Anytime you lose in that fashion in front of the home crowd, you're always going to be devastated. But this is going to be another heartbreak for a really tough year for FURIA and for Fallen as he kind of gained the leadership control completely, the reins of this team. And we've seen moments of improvement and steps in the right direction, but the results never quite matching up to it.
FURIA anticipating some FaZe aggression or holding for the flanks, but FaZe are not going to give them any of those opportunities. They want to close this out as one-sidedly as possible. Get into the Shanghai playoffs. Carrigan waits inside of the B-bomb site. The Pistols begin their march towards him. He's going to hear the steps, dropping in, will call for his teammate to come and help from short. And it's frozen at range with the M4 alongside Carrigan close quarters with that MP9 to remove any chance of damage for the side of FURIA. Kesarado left in the apartments. And no damage to be done at all. Not a single kill from FURIA as we now reach map, series point, and progression point for FaZe Clan.
You can't say enough about this FaZe team. I mean, just the way they look to step up to this level. 2 Pro League titles, Masters of IEM Sydney and IEM Chengdu, Katowice champions, Cologne champions, Grand Slam winners, Counter-Strike champions at the PGL Antwerp Major. We doubted it coming into this series, but they've shown once again they have another level they can summon. When all seemed lost, FaZe stepped up even further.
They sent Kesarado forward into the B-bomb site. He is alone. Severed from his pack. And Rops with a double in mid. A few steps in the right direction for FaZe to try and close this, but Kesarado has created space in the B-bomb site. And FURIA trying to move with it, trying to work with it, and Kesarado taking matters into his own hands. He's kept his team in the fight, at least here in round 15. But now it's on Skulls and Kesarado to close it out in a 2v2. Brokey's going to reposition. Good movement to get up to Cat. Going to try and come in with Rain, who's sneaking through the apartments, but with the position of Kesarado boosted in the bomb site, you imagine that's going to be too much to handle, but they take Skulls down. And now if Brokey and Rain play this together, they can stop Kesarado. This is the star of FURIA, their sharpest weapon. The first headshot is in. And he needs to bite down on Brokey, who moves into the site. And Kesarado will make sure that FURIA live on for at least another round.
At least another. It took a quad kill. And again, I mentioned it a number of times at the end of the first half. Like, he really hasn't had chances to have an impact on this third map. Just by the way he was playing, by the way FaZe called that T-side. Kesarado could have such little impact. So finally, he gets involved in a critical round and a 1v2 clutch. But you're still 9 rounds back.
I'll take the timeout.
I'm reminded of a story that Taco once told us about the old Brazilian lineups.
How did that go, Jason?
Down big, Fallen giving the speech, round by round, and asking if they ended up winning that. He just said, nope, not at all. We got smashed. And it seems like the same thing here. You put out those words, but at the moment, even after a 1v2 clutch from Kesarado, the energy is still going to be flat.
Yeah, it'll take more than that moment to start believing. And for FaZe, it didn't seem like they were believing after that opening map. They looked deflated, but T-side of Dust2 reignited something in them. And it is about to prolong their tournament life here in Shanghai. Kesarado burst through the B apartments in the last round and got a lot of space to play with for FURIA. He's not able to do the same thing here. It's not like it's a consistent way of winning rounds. So he's gone into the underpass instead and will join up with his teammates who already occupy middle. There's Cello. Taking down Robs, who's having a hot game. This is it, death.
The worst.
Try and put pressure on the B-bomb site.
Look, we don't necessarily need to get into this conversation at the moment, but the worst thing that can happen for FaZe is trying to end it too soon. On an individual level, trying to make too many plays that are going to close out the map. That's the only... FURIA need that. They want that. They want you to make mistakes in an attempt to just get done with this map in series.
It's passive from FaZe at the moment for the rest of the players. Brokey. Oh, looked like he was going to guarantee himself a kill there. He's gone back to check CT, and that's going to work out, but he doesn't actually hit the shot. Fallen comes out on top of that duel with a MAC-10. And now the commitment into the sides worked out brilliantly for FURIA, and FaZe have to save. They've taken 3 players away, and the money has drained for the FaZe clan. So in terms of actually pulling this comeback off, FURIA have taken the correct steps.
Yeah, that's what they've needed in the start. Broken the money, and now you can start to try and claw things back. Not too motivated to hunt themselves. They need to build up some cash flow. And it's going to have to be a perfect half, both in terms of the calling from Fallen. This round kind of scared me a little bit as all 5 players were in middle coming up con. And you didn't have a second front of attack. If Brokey lands that first shot towards Connector, if Brokey lands that shot towards CT spawn, you're still in a ton of trouble with the crossfire of rain. Thankfully, giving them a couple misses. So 4th round for FURIA, 8 rounds back. All they can fight for at the moment is overtime. Playoffs not even within their sight any longer.
You'd imagine that FaZe aren't going to invest in the 3 players that died, so keep around the $1,950 average. Get a better buy in the next round. And see what you can do with the 2 safe rifles. So the FAMAS of Frozen and the M4 in the hands of Carrigan. Cello charging into mid.
The crazy thing about this is, with the way FaZe has played, I mean, I think there's a lot of people who lost faith they'd even be qualifying for the playoffs. So now, as I mentioned, the conversation is going to shift that, you know, now that they're in the playoffs, or not yet, I shouldn't really throw that one out there, but if they make the playoffs.
Yeah, you've had some criticisms of your passing curse abilities, Jason.
Yeah, I have a strong jinx, I won't lie. But you can't really have faith that they'll be able to contend with the best teams of the world waiting in that bracket, but I guarantee you, that's the thing we talk about on the outside. I guarantee you, the teams and the players on the other side are just like, please no. Please don't have the FaZe show up. And it's the whole thing of, you know, prepare for the worst and hope for the best. You're gonna have to prepare for this FaZe team like you are gonna get the God tier FaZe escalation. And just hope and pray that it doesn't happen.
Because we've had shades of both in this series. Like, we've had the weak FaZe in this series, and we've had the strong FaZe in this series, and that's just across 3 maps.
And I think if you talk to them, they probably are not sure, you know, which one's going to show up on any given day either.
Another situation where there's not enough money here, so FaZe are going to have just some pistol upgrades. The really good buys coming in the next round, and that's when they get the AWP back for Brokey. That's when they get the rifles out on everybody else, and all the util you could ever want. So FURIA are going to ride this wave and take a 6th round victory. And they're just going to save as much as they can here, while also sprinkle a little bit of Kevlar and upgraded pistols in on Carrigan and Rops. And this is stacked towards the A-bomb side, Jason, and this is where FURIA are heading directly into this attack. Rain got 1 in the USP, but FURIA with 2 opening headshots. There's no risk of this run ending to the pistols. And Fallen making sure that Brokey goes down after that 1 kill in the P250. Now Carrigan steps up with a 5-7, but eyes are watching him towards CT. No, he's got another kill.
Carrigan's always good for a crazy nonsense clutch that should never happen. I feel like every event he's got 1 wild clutch in his back pocket.
Well, the Molotov comes into the jungle, he actually moves through it. Fallen not looking the right way, but eventually the fire will get rid of Carrigan, but it looked like he was about to catch Fallen with the AWP look in the wrong direction. Then it sounded a 1v1. And if you're FURIA, you do not want to fall in that fashion.
All right, 3 straight for FURIA bringing this back. Excuse me, 4 straight for FURIA bringing this back. Now within 6. But I mean, considering the disparity this began, I feel like I can't really get invested in the comeback until they get to 10, and then we'll have the conversation. FaZe gonna take mid control. But utility forces them back away from Khan. Tons of Molotovs and nades rang in, and they still disrespect the smoke to walk behind it.
Yeah, of course they do. They've got the bottom mid control to play with. They've cooled Rops down. A number of rounds where he hasn't been able to find impact. He would love to get back on the board now. And he's there with Frozen.
And FaZe aren't being shy about the fact that they have some aggression in middle. Deep nades coming up the ramp, deep flashbangs. Everyone's here. They've used a lot of utility to get this position in middle, and if it doesn't pan out, and they have to retake a bomb site, they're in trouble. They might actually just choose to save based off that, depending on the kills. And FURIA have their full kit of nades. 2 smokes for stairs and jungle, plenty of Molotovs. I think on some level, FaZe just get locked out of this round.
Unless Brokey can break their way out of this. He's going to take a step to the smoke that's coming in. He goes beyond it. Flash was great. And with that flash being so effective and Brokey unable to get the stopping kill, FURIA starts to move into the A site. FaZe are starting to wrap around these smokes and apply pressure with utility of their own. FURIA populate the site, holding FaZe back, but they stay committed. There's a long flank coming in from Caserato. He's currently going through the B bomb site. He's going to come to short and try and fight and take down some of the connector players. It could be very impactful for Caserato if his teammates can keep them distracted. Carrigan's got that headshot. Here's Caserato around the back, but he's giving it away now. And not any success. Oh no. Caserato and Khan, they're going to go back and try and deal with him, but he's only got 1. 2 players left. Fallen hits the ground. And Skull's the only player left between FaZe and the playoffs in Shanghai. No. And has he got his dark moment? Skulls is unbelievable. Skulls has had his moments. This is where he belongs, back home in Brazil.
Unbelievable.
How has it happened 2 days in a row? How have we had a similar play in back-to-back days?
And the stylish P250 one tap. He might have needed that. That defuse was so close.
Dude, now that's a play that gives you energy. Now that's a play that makes you believe FURIA might still be in this.
Carrigan gonna smoke things off. Caserato coming right at him. Molotov at his feet. 1 kill. Traded off. And FURIA starting to build some momentum.
FaZe stunned from the moment by Skulls.
And now just 4 rounds. The lead cuts down to.
Doubted by Liquid and found by FURIA.
Saved by clutches. Caserato 1v2, Skulls 1v4. FURIA not giving up this map, this series, these playoffs in Shanghai. You're gonna have to rip it out of their hands. Money's back for FaZe. An incredibly strong retake, cut short by Skulls. And round by round, FURIA coming back. Double up setup for Brokey and Carrigan. Carrigan will have his at the B bomb site, wants to get a deep angle. Allow his team to play 4 riflers on the other side of the map. Actually takes a very shallow angle, but FURIA not headed in that direction for the moment.
Yesterday, when Donk made a similar play, Spirit went on to lose the follow-up round. FURIA can't afford to let that happen. It needs to be the catalyst that sparks the comeback.
They're coming at Kerrigan, and again with that shallow angle, there's not a whole lot of warning.
Cacerado, ever patient in the window.
Frozen sliding over now.
The lone predator will come into play later on, but it's Kerrigan sitting back in the site. It's one pick, but he's under pressure, and he's got Frozen to try and help him. They stall out FURIA.
It takes the gaze of Kerrigan away from Buchholz, though. He's got to be concerned about the market flank.
He's going back to look at short because Cacerado can quickly reposition back to that position. Yuri now making his way. Robs is going to hear those steps at bottom connector. Rob swings but loses the fight. Kerrigan looking to chime in, but it's a tough shot. And Yuri applying the pressure that opens up the chance to move into the bomb site. Frozen's left it, and they're still worried about Cacerado, but he is not moving. He is not leaving, and finally jumps out of the window. 10 seconds, though, for FURIA. 10 seconds. Frozen moves into the site. He could deny it right now. That could be the bomb. That could be it. And Skulls again. He's keeping them in it. Skulls is keeping his team in this game. He is keeping them in Shanghai.
I don't even think FURIA knew what was going on in that round.
No, it was all over the place.
Two players coming back to mid, attacking Khan while the bomb is just waiting at bench. So risky. But FURIA coming out, the miracles have shifted to the Brazilian side. And Neo wants to calm things down, takes a second timeout. FaZe can simply not close this map.
And where have they gone? Where have FaZe disappeared to? The first half dominating in the firepower department, but now have fizzled out completely, have cooled down. And it began with a Cacerado clutch on his own inside of the B-bomb site. Skulls to save the day twice. And the Brazilians are starting to believe. For FaZe, they are down again on the weaker weapons. Scout, MP9s, pistols. Are they about to get a taste of their own medicine?
Window smoke to allow the progression of Cacerado from the underpass now up towards Khan. Every round gets tense now. Doesn't matter if you have 5-7 MP9. The stakes are too high for that to matter. Mid control is there for FURIA. They've got room to work with. Kerrigan to defend connector. Frozen, his counterpart over on Catwalk.
Kerrigan awaits the arrival of FURIA players, and the connector is the 5-7. Nope, it's not going to do anything. Cacerado clears Kerrigan.
You have
Rain
Rops
waits inside a sandwich.
M4 and Palace.
Yep, that could be the key.
He's got to try and save it now, I think.
Well, his teammates are all gone, so Rops moves into the open. Again, another chance, but only one. Not the superstar today. Not in this moment, at least. And FURIA now on the brink of 10 rounds. You said we wait till 10, Jason.
Yeah, we're there. I mean, even Skulls beat my expectations. Oh, this is so sketchy. 2 on 3. They're buying next round no matter what, so they can go for it if they choose to, but Frozen looks like he wants to check the flank, maybe prioritize the AK-47, because no kits means this defuse is already gone. FURIA have already gotten to double digits. It was 12-2, and FURIA have embarked on an 8-round journey. And finally, within striking distance of FaZe's 12, within overtime. All the struggles that FURIA have had throughout the year have built to this moment. All of them have strengthened them to survive and outlast this kind of a FaZe lead. And at the head of it all is Fallen, calling round by round.
Brokey looking out top mid, Fallen's already behind the boxes. And a game with 2 legacy callers, it has been a game of the T sides. Carrigan and Fallen going blow for blow in that regard. And FURIA might just run it back all the way. No one from FaZe willing to fight. No one even showing any presence in middle.
They had that kind of aggressive gun round previously where they pushed 3-4 players up middle, used tons of utility early on, but they're so content and happy to sit back, not give away any free kills. Have nades for retake, have nades to disrupt executions. One of them is coming to the A-bomb site right now, frozen in rain to defend against it. Rops is sliding over with his 25 kills. Brokey coming over with his AWP.
Big peek from Frozen, traded out by Yuri. And FURIA need to step into this A site. FaZe's rotations are now arriving. A fantastic comeback that can't end now, that surely cannot end now. 20 seconds left. Ball moves into the site. They have not planted yet, but now they commit to it. But Yuri's being spammed down. It's Carrigan. 10 seconds left. They come right through, and Rops will close it out. Caserano, as mighty as he is, as mighty as the Brazilians are, they have fallen. Where the storm breaks the will of mighty men, it is FaZe that have endured. Form is temporary, but class is permanent.
FURIA falter in the end. FaZe fantastic. A Carrigan call.